Hello, and welcome back to Xpwaste, where we are celebrating our 4-year anniversary of being objectively the best RuneScape podcast out there. Hi, I'm Oxie.
And I'm Michael. And happy 4 years of doing Xpwaste. If you're new around here, buckle up. This is going to be one of those episodes we tell you guys, hey, this is not normally how the show goes.
Which is also funny because this anniversary episodes are the episodes I tend to tell my non-RuneScape people about. So if you're here and have never played old school a day in your life, but you're like, oh, Oxie told me to watch this episode, strap in and strap on. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah. This is our anniversary episode. We do this every year. We kind of started out doing it on milestone episodes, and then it turned into just okay, we're done with milestone episodes. Let's do it on our anniversary. And so we're going to get drunk and answer questions from the community. And what better thing to get drunk on than RuneScape themed cocktails and drinks? So that's what you're in for. If you're looking for more of a RuneScape-y type podcast, this isn't going to be the episode for you. Go find another one in our catalog. They're in there. If you're not new around here, welcome back. We are so ready to drink. So ready to drink. I can't show you my spread, but my desk is full. There is no fruit besides my limes. There's no fruit in sight. So unfortunately, we won't have another fruit tour of 2025. The return of the fruit. Oxie has fruit, but he's going to cut it. So
I'm already prepared. I've already done all the cutting and the juicing.
Wow.
I actually already have a drink made.
Whoa.
When I say I am R.
Okay.
So one of the reasons I am so R, Michael, what time is it?
It doesn't matter.
It does. It matters a little bit.
You get to sleep in tomorrow. It really doesn't matter.
It's 11 p.m. when we're starting this recording.
It doesn't matter.
It matters a little.
This is when people start partying. We're old, so we don't normally do this. But
Michael, I'm the youngest one here, and I'm still almost 30. That doesn't fly with us anymore, dog.
The younger folks, this is when they've already pre-gamed, and this is when they are hitting the bars at 11 p.m. So we're in it. It's happening. How are you? What have you been doing this week?
What have I been doing this week? Getting my ass kicked in the Coliseum.
Damn.
I finally broke wave 6 one time, only to immediately die on wave 8. Not even immediately. I'm just dumb and don't know how to off tick. I do. I'm just dumb and didn't do it. But what else has happened this week? A little bit of raiding. I did stuff on my GIM, much to kind of my own chagrin. I did stuff on the GIM. I got my blue salve finally. And turns out Vorkath is just as slow with a blue salve because I was killing Vorkath with Elite Void. I got Elite Void. I was like, yeah, Vorkath will be fine. And Michael was like, yeah, well, I was wearing blue salve and I completely forgot that even was a thing. So I was killing Vorkath with a glory first 6 kills. And I'm like, oh, dude, salve is going to be a game changer. This is going to be great. I got a blue salve and somehow my kill times got even slower. I don't think I've killed Vorkath in under 6 minutes at all. I think somehow I have a 5-minute PB on my GIM. Every other kill has been 6+ minutes. This is terrible. Maybe the blue backpack isn't worth it. Maybe it's just the quiver skip angle on my GIM. But I have to get it on the main first. I don't know, dude. I really don't know. Because, Vorkath, it's not going to be that bad. But, it's also insufferable in my current state on my GIM. Vorkath is horrible. Zulrah is also horrible at the current state on my GIM. But overall, not too bad. I've been a busy man this week, been doing a lot of fencing things. I actually did go out to bars last night. I had one of my friends started a little small business. So I went to a bar to celebrate all the art and things like that were there.
Cool.
That was quite a bit of fun. And today I expected to record a little bit earlier. And then Michael said, I'm not going to be ready till 10:30 Eastern time. I went, cool, and twiddled my thumbs for 12 hours because I didn't know what to do with myself. But yeah, that's been my day today. I'm here. I'm ready to talk and answer some questions. and do a little bit of drinky drankin'.
Nice. I've had a pretty like editing heavy week, and then like after I finished editing, didn't really play much because I've been solo dad this week. My wife was out of town. She's back today. That's why we're recording so late, is because her flight got delayed. So I had to go pick her up. And then obviously I wanted to see her. Haven't seen her in a week. So spent some time together and we're here now. But besides, like, I was doing runecrafting, I think, pretty much the whole time. I got to 82, and that's when I can start making double astrals for my construction grind. But I'm like still, for some reason, locked in Zaya. Like I haven't left to go do the astrals. I'll get to it eventually, but I've been really enjoying doing blood runes. Without a doubt, I think besides like mining in general, like as an AFK activity, besides mining, because you have shooting stars, you have the bone shards, you have MLM, all of those are great to me. I really like runecrafting in Zaya as an AFK activity. It's something that I can just turn my brain off and just do for several hours and really not like think too hard about it. Because I mean, I think on my XP tracker it says I've gotten like 500k or 600k XP, but I don't know like the time frame on that, because now my RuneLight has stopped resetting my XP gained when I close the client for some reason. Like it saves it. So I'm used to normally like my session is the last time I open my client. And that's like, you know, if I wanted to reset my XP, I just close the client. But now it's saving it. So I have to go in there and manually reset it to try and track like what I'm doing in a given span of time. But, you know, AFKing Bloods has been amazing. And oh no, I have done other stuff. Like I did some raids. I think actually, speaking of raids, I think it was like Monday or Tuesday, and I was editing for a few hours up until this point, and then Spari in the clan chat was like, anybody want to go to Chambers? And I was like, I wish I could go to Chambers. I'm like typing back to him, like, I wish I could go to Chambers, but I'm stuck editing. He's like, or you could just not. I was like, okay, you got me. And so I just didn't edit the rest of the time, and I did like 4 Chambers with them, and it was a lot of fun. I haven't seen a purple in a while in my name, and I'm starting to think that my like spooned luck at Chambers is going to be catching up to me, because I have 7 purples in my name in what was like 160 raids or 170 raids, and now I'm nearing 200, or I might be over 200 at this point, and I've not seen a purple in a while. So I'm worried now that like I've seen so many purples that now my account's gonna be like, you know what? It's fine. You can go another 150 or another 100 without a purple. And I'm like, okay, fine, you know? But my luck has turned around in other places. I did 10 Moons of Peril, and I got 3 Moons items in 10 KC. Whereas before that, I did 100 KC, and I only had 3 items. So in 100 KC, 3 items. The next 10 KC, 3 more items. And they weren't dupes of anything, which was super nice. So I think my luck could be turning around there for the better, hopefully, because one of them was a back-to-back, which was crazy. It's a Blood Moon Helm, the Blue Moon Helm, and the Atlatls, which the Blood Moon Helm and the Atlatls are dupes, which is fine. They're like, I can just put those back into storage now. But the Blue Moon Helm is a new piece for me, which I want the full Blue Moon set because it's just really good for doing various pieces of content. So very excited for that. So I did a bit of moons, did a bit of raiding, bit of runecrafting, and I've been playing Red Dead Redemption again. You can't take me away. I've started another playthrough, and I'm trying to 100% the game. So just chipping away at all the challenges and stuff. I've got mods turned on, which has made the game a lot more fun for me. As in like a second playthrough. I wouldn't suggest mods in a first playthrough. Just experience the game how it is, take it as it comes. But I have mods on for my second playthrough, and it's some quality of life stuff. It's really nice. That's been my week. I'm also ready to drank. I have to prepare a drink. So which one are we doing first?
I have got the Chocolate Saturday up first. That's what I got right here.
Okay.
Which is basically just like a chocolate mudslide, which turns out is just liquor. It's just liquor and ice. So hopefully you brought a blender and took
I did.
Fizzle's advice.
I actually did. So I've got my little magic bullet here, and I'm gonna go off camera over here. Well, Oxie's not even. Where did Oxie go? I'm gonna go off camera
So,
here, and
I will say
blend it up
for this
real
episode,
quick.
right? Given that I am now in my area with my kitchen, I'm in my living room because I have my small little apartment. I don't have all my liquor like next to me like I have in past episodes. Michael's moaning and groaning.
Well, it
as
makes
if
sense because I've seen the size of your desk. It makes sense. But you're just going to be getting up a lot.
I am going to be getting up pretty frequently, but because I have a wireless headset and a studio quality microphone, I might be sending some quips in from the kitchen, which I don't tend to do normally on the podcast. But you know what? Here we are. We're going to be gaming and having a good time. I will bring like the drinks and things over here to like mix them all together, but I'm not keeping it all here right now.
Okay.
This
is why I said bring the table to your...
Michael wanted me to drag my kitchen table in front of my desk.
It's not that hard.
Have me be probably this far away from the camera the entire time.
You can zoom in your camera, right? I'm just saying, these are things that can be... You can work around these things. You're not a boomer.
I am working around it, but I am working around it by having my setup 7 feet away from my kitchen where I'm keeping all of my liquor. So I don't have to keep it all on my desk and it stays cold and my ice stays cold. You're the one who bought the mudslide mix, okay? You didn't even buy all the damn ingredients. So don't even be coming at me, brother.
It's all pre-mixed. Mexican mudslide, baby. So I'm going to put... Why are you throwing up in your... You haven't even tried this. Stop it. All right. First question. I guess we should set up what we're doing. So
yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like we're very used to this, but new people may not be. New people may not know what the hell is going on. So on these anniversary episodes, we do like an AMA, like a good old Ask Me Anything, where viewers submit questions. We have probably like 25-ish responses, because our anniversary, as you guys know from last week, snuck up on us. We were so focused on RuneFest and doing all the RuneFest things, being out of the country, that we just forgot that we had an anniversary. And, you know, we were like, oh, we got to do that soon. We were going to originally do it last week, but we didn't have any questions or any booze. So we were doing that this week. And what we do is we like to make RuneScape themed alcoholic beverages and answer questions from the community. We might also make some RuneScape themed food if we get drunk enough, but we'll see how that goes. So we've reached out to our good friends Fizzle and Tiki, and they have provided us, they're both bartenders in their past lives or in their current lives, who knows. But they've provided us with some good recipes that are RuneScape themed and don't suck. So we're very excited to like give this a try. So the first thing we're trying is the Chocolate Saturday, which is a gnome restaurant drink, which is basically just a mudslide. Because like I think the actual recipe for a Chocolate Saturday in RuneScape is like whiskey, lemon, chocolate powder, equa leaves, heat it up, shake it, put it in a glass, garnish it with like chocolate dust or something. So we're not, that sounds horrible. So like thankfully we have real bartenders to help us now. Because if you've been around for a while and you've watched our other 3 anniversary episodes, or our episode 99, or our original drinking episode, I think it's like episode 16 or something like that, you would know that Michael and I don't have a very good track record of making drinks from scratch off the top of our heads. So we got great folks to help us out with that. I posted a video in the Xpwaste chat that maybe we'll put right here. Hello, Xpwasters. Happy anniversary. It's our 4-year anniversary, and as we always do, we have drinks to make. Our lovely friend and co-bartender Fizzle has given us a suggestion for a chocolate Saturday, which is a drink I've wanted to try for a long time, but I haven't had the capabilities. So she sent us a recipe that I'm going to put on screen here, and that's exactly what we're going to do. First things first, ice, but I don't really know how much to add, so I'm just going to... Next on the list is 6 ounces of vodka.
2 shots of vodka.
Should be close enough. Next is 6 ounces of Baileys. Can't believe they're still called that these days. Next is 6 ounces of Kahlua. Wow, that's thick. No, I don't know much about making cocktails, and I know even less about baking, but I feel like in every recipe I've ever read that involves chocolate, you should add a little bit of salt. Hopefully good enough. And then finally, just for laughs, we're going to put some chocolate syrup in there too. Now, we're going to gently blend it up. Now we're going to get fancy with it. Ooh, look at me. I'm the gay barista you've always wanted. Smells like chocolate liquor. Not as thick as I thought it was going to be. Things that have never been said about me for 500. That's going to get me pretty f***ed up. That's a good one. All right, folks, there you have it. We have our first drink of the night because I don't feel like doing the whole blender thing when we're recording for the anniversary party. So hopefully we'll see you guys there. But I have my chocolate Saturday. I guess you could call this like a pre-made. Okay, here's a question for you. Who has the pre-made chocolate Saturday?
I do.
Because as you guys know, if you play RuneScape, you can either make the drinks yourself or you can buy the pre-made ones at the shops. Because mine is technically already pre-made and I was doing all that rambling because Michael was blending off screen, ours looks so different.
I don't have chocolate syrup. You blended it with chocolate syrup and salt too. That's delicious.
It's good.
Oh yeah.
That's just liquor.
That's like well, it's like a alcoholic milkshake. Bro. Like imagine one of these on a hot summer day, slipping it next to the pool. I could get used to that. That's wonderful. Where have you been all my life? Good shout, Fizzle.
Yeah,
and good shout,
it's pretty good.
Gnome Restaurant.
Wednesday was one of the wildest days I have had at work in a very, very, very long time. It was very chaotic in my line of work.
Uh-oh.
And towards the end of the day, I felt a tickle in the back of my throat. And I thought, it's probably just because I've been talking all day. But if I get sick, I'm going up there and I'm just going to start swinging on people upstairs because I don't want to get sick. You know, I have too much to do and cannot afford to be sick at the moment. So I've had like a diet cold for like 3 days, which like might be a cold or it might be allergies because it keeps fluctuating between like 28 and 70 here in Michigan.
It's terrible.
And I promise that's not a joke. It's been about a 50 degree swing pretty regularly here. And it sucks. It's not fun. It is not fun at all.
Sorry, not feeling good.
I mean, we're surviving.
Yeah.
You know, we've got tissues next to us. We didn't take any medicine because I was like, oh, maybe I should take Dayquil. And then looked at the list of ingredients that we got sent and was like, yeah, no.
You shouldn't take Dayquil and drink at the same time.
I'm not doing that. Like that's a recipe for me to like have my liver explode on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been 70 degrees here. Today, I had nothing to do all day. And I'm the type of person where like if I have something to do later, I don't want to like do too much beforehand. Which is a weird balance when you wake up at 10 a.m. and you don't record till 11 p.m. So I just like drove around for a couple of hours. I like got a coffee and like drove around with the windows down and like sang Northern Attitude and then accidentally found a new public access fishing site today. So yeah, it's been 70 degrees here. It was like 65 degrees yesterday when we were at the bar thing. It was delightful. So it's been wonderful weather, but it's going to get rainy and cold here soon.
And you can give an update on your car. It's been fixed.
I did finally get my car fixed. After 618 beans, I did fix my car. And all of my mechanic Xpwaster buddies who were like, hey, you have a bad wheel bearing. You were 100% correct. It was a bad wheel bearing through and through. 100% bad wheel bearing.
Called it.
Yeah, TY for you guys for that. They got it fixed in a day, which was nice.
Love to hear it.
Because like the last time I got my car taken in, it literally was in the shop for 2 months. So I was very hesitant to get it taken in to begin with. But it's in, it's back. The vehicle's fixed.
Let's go.
Appreciate all you guys' help and advice. But we are good to go. So yeah, car's fixed. And we're gonna be drinking today. We have questions to answer. We have drinks to drink. Do you like the chocolate Saturday, Mike?
I love it. I would say this
yeah.
is probably, and I'm a sucker for a milkshake and like really sweet things. So this is probably one of my favorite things we've had on the show that's been themed around a RuneScape drink. I really liked whatever the super restore that we had last time was. Can't remember what that was.
With the jelly, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I really like the super combat bomb we had last time. When it turned green. That was pretty cool. That was pretty good.
I heard in my brain, I heard Sarah Brew, but no, you're right. Super combats are green.
Yeah, the super combat
should have been green.
It was pretty good.
So we can get into questions, and we can start right at the top. The first one who asked us a question was Fizzman15. Says, I love you guys so much. Love you too, Fizzman. He says, what are the chances of an Xpwaste Australia meetup this year or next year? I gotta love with you. 2025, probably not. All the travel that we did this year really did a number on our bank account. And so if we're gonna do a meetup of that size and scope, where we're going to another new country, but not for like a Rune Fest type thing, we're gonna have to save up. So 2026, potentially. I really want to go to Australia though.
We've talked about it. There are enough of you guys over there where if we planned it in advance, because like we don't really understand how big Australia is. Like I feel like we always get like, we're always reminded that like, oh, Australia is gigantic. You know, going to England, Europe is not a very large place. Australia is huge. Realistically, if we were going to do an Xpwaste meetup, because Michael and I have never been there before, there's a good chance we end up in Sydney. Now, if there's a whole group of Australian Xpwasters and you guys all live in a different province or live on the other side of the continent, let us know and we'll find some way to get there. But given that we are two American tourists who have never been there before and are going to have to shell out the time and money to do the probably 16-hour flight to get over there, which isn't a complaint, mind you. We're excited to do it. But after the last flight that Michael and I were on with the crazy dude, I don't think either one of us are super keen to take a long flight like this week. But pretty much like Sydney seems like your guys' New York City. So yeah, you guys are gigantic. Let us know what like a feasible meeting spot is for you guys.
Yeah. Cause I just did like you can go to, it's called thetruesize.com and you can you can pull around different elements of the map. You can layer them on top of each other. And so I just did Australia to like the true size of the US, the mainland US. And it's about, I would say we have about the same landmass as Australia, which I didn't realize that. I thought like, oh, Australia is just a little bitty island. Nope, you guys are massive. Okay.
Yeah. So
Oxie's right.
I literally, I just looked it up. East to west, the US is about 2,800 miles. Australia is about 2,500 miles.
Damn.
So
yeah.
Your continent is massive. We think Sydney. If everyone else is located somewhere else, let us know. But yes, we like unironically have talked about Xpwaste Australia, and we think it would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm down. The flight, though, you talked about the flight. Oh, gosh. 16 hours on a plane.
Flight's gonna be a bitch. I think for the flight, we'd probably take off from Dallas. We would probably do a layover at LAX, and then we'll just fly over the Pacific Ocean for like 13 hours.
You shell out the money for some good seats.
That's the thing. It's like if you fly to Australia for once in your life, you shell out the ducats for the good plane ticket.
Yeah, that's bro. I can't imagine 16 hours on a plane with the conditions we had last time. That's like a take some melatonin angle and like truly just zonk out for
like
for
a
half the flight.
handful of melatonin.
Yes, like
though.
zonk out
That'd be
half
the thing.
the flight. Don't wake me up for anything. Just I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
But
because we are interested in going. The population of Aussies has grown substantially.
we could do it. Next question coming up from Buck226. He said, if you were at an OSRS tap house and they had every in-game ale available, what are you drinking?
Three things. Number one, Michael and I both have jerky because we thought, hey, it's like hunter meat and that's thematic. So we're going to be chewing on jerky a little bit through this episode too, so we don't get like blackout drunk. Number one. Number two, I read this question as OSRS trap house at first and went, hey, yo, what the hell? But no, it's tap house. And number three, I have to take the cop-out answer. I love a good brewery, and I am a hoe for a flight. I'll try one of everything. I am a hoe for a flight.
That's a good answer.
I will try a little bit of everything. I think if they had every single one on tap, I would honestly, Lizard Kicker sounds interesting. I'm not a big sour guy, and I feel like the Lizard Kicker is going to be a sour, but you know,
it's got to be the Wizard Mind Bomb for me. Miss Cheese said it in the recording booth chat, and it's such a classic, nostalgic, well-known drink amongst everyone in Gillinor that I would be personally curious what the effects would have on me as a regular person. If my magic level right now is 0 and I drink a Wizard Mind Bomb and it goes up to 1, what am I able to do? What magic is going to be bestowed on me for a minute? What's going to happen? Am I going to be able to like levitate things or shoot spells from my hands or like catch fire? I don't know. So my IRL magic level is obviously 0, but with Wizard Mind Bomb, it's number 1.
There's so many cool ones, like, because obviously like some things like the Bloody Bracer, no thanks. I'm going to pass on the Bloody Bracer. I got to level with you. But like Asgardian Ale, that's got to be pretty classic.
Mhm.
Surely that one's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know if I'm jazzed about a Dragon Bitter. Got to level with you. But I think Elven Dawn sounds pretty good. Like if I honest to God went to an OSRS tap house and they had all of this stuff on tap, I would be belligerent. If I could show up and get some like my thing is like I will drink good beer as long as I have food. So if you get me like a basket of fries, I'll try every single beer on the menu. I don't care. Give me a little sip of everything, and then I'll get a pint of what I like. You know?
Hell yeah. It's got to be like one of those events things that you did over the summer with your friend where you got something for every beer that you tried, and at the end you got your name on the wall or something. That's got to be
we
the
got
angle.
the card punch. Yeah, that's supposed to be done in a year. My buddy and I did that in 6 weeks. My buddy Chris and we did a beer tour that is 50 beers from January 1st to December 31st. It's designed to take 12 months. We did it in 6 weeks between my junior and senior year of college, because he was leaving for a study away at Washington, D.C., and I did not turn 21 until the middle of the summer. So we had from the middle of the summer until the end of August, and we just, like, every day were there. Like, we were going Friday, Saturday, but we were also going Sunday night after Game of Thrones, and the bartender was like, here's the deal. You guys are the only ones in here, and we have to stay open till 2 a.m., so I'd rather have you guys here than have nobody here. But I swear to God, if you spoil Game of Thrones, you are never allowed in this bar again. No. So we would watch the show, talk about the recent episodes. It was like around like season 7 territory. So we'd talk about the episodes on the way to the bar, and we would get outside the bar and we'd be like, okay, good to go. And the bartender's name was Matt. And we'd be like, Matt, we're not saying anything. He's like, good, shut the hell up. What do you want? He was a cool dude. He was a pretty cool dude. He had one rule. You can stay as long as you want. You can drink as much as you want. Just don't spoil Game of Thrones. So I would do something like that for RuneScape.
Yeah, but not in 6 weeks.
With beer, for sure. Maybe not in 6 weeks. Depends on who I'm doing it with. Maybe not.
That is a fun thing. I don't think there's any like bars or tap houses or whatever breweries around me that does that. I'd actually be very interested to see, because I would love to expand my horizons on the different varieties of alcohol that I have tried. I like beers, and this goes kind of into my answer for the question. Beer, just generally, I like it. And I would also like to taste the beer that like the Drunken Dwarf gives you, or the beer that you just like buy for a singular coin. Like, I want to know, is it good, or is it just like watered down shit? If it's good, then that's a steal. It feels like a steal. 1 coin. But what is the value of 1 coin to like a USD? Because I feel like 1 gold doesn't buy you much, but there are certain things in the game where it's like a newspaper is several gold. But then, is that overpriced? Don't know. Miss Chi says, I thought you put a coin in it. Maybe you do.
I feel like there's got to be some way. I mean, USD is a bad approximation, because if a US dollar is the same, we're going down a rabbit hole, because you can buy bonds, right? So like, you can buy bonds. So theoretically, the USD does have a value in Gielinor, and if it does, you're a gozillionaire for a local. You're doing like 100 USD. You rock up with the equivalent of like 250 million gold.
Yeah.
In like 1 bill. That's crazy.
Yeah, like I just casually carry around hundreds of thousands of Gielinor pieces, and I could just drop it and not really think twice. But like the fortune teller only asks for 1 gold to take your fortune. The newspaper is like 5 gold. There's like very, very cheap things. Like a nice sword is a couple thousand gold. So I don't know.
I mean, that was all released before the GE though.
So very true.
Makes sense. Reclinata says a 1 GP beer is probably like a Keystone. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's a Keystone. It's a Natty Light. It's a good old Milwaukee's finest Pabst Blue Ribbon. But next question we have here. Pistachio Paladin says, what's been the biggest adversity that you have faced as a pair? And then what accomplishments do you see Xpwaste achieving in the next 18 months? The biggest adversity that we have faced as a pair,
I think it's our formatting. Like, being apart, doing a podcast is very difficult.
Yeah, that's true.
I love doing the podcast, but I think I would love it if we were able to do it in the same room consistently. Like, if you live down the street, you come over on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon, we hang out, we do the podcast, we hang out some more, you go home. Like, that would be amazing. And with houses being so cheap where you live, why not just move to Michigan?
Michael sent me houses in my area, and he said, why are the houses so cheap where you live? Is it like, are they just run down, or is it a bad neighborhood? And I just responded, yes. And he's like,
so I would say that's big. Our biggest adversary, whatever the word was.
Yeah, I think it definitely is a little bit of an issue. Like
Adversity.
I'm keeping adversity. Yeah, I'm keeping my microphone like this. Like, I know you guys have noticed a difference. Maybe if you're really diligent on the YouTube video, because Michael came to my house, fixed my mic, and said, "Don't fucking touch it." I was like, whatever. As long as I can still do this, I don't really care, because he's been up my ass about the position of my microphone since we started. So like,
that is a big adversity.
Like those consistency pieces, and then like the humming that's been in my background for the last several episodes. Still don't know where that's coming from. That wouldn't be a thing, presumably, if we did it together, like live in person.
Mm-hmm.
I think there would still be some differences with editing. Like, if you guys go back through maybe like the middle of our catalog when Michael and I are still doing every other, there are a few key differences in how Michael and I edit between the even and odd numbered episodes where you can tell who edited what. You can tell like where the F words get cut off. You can tell how loud the censor beeps are. You can tell like when we come back from break, the musical cue, particularly with like the do 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 do, like when we come back, where we cut that, because I cut it in a very specific spot. I know Michael does not. Same thing with the intro music. I cut it in a specific spot. Like you can tell the little minute differences. So those will kind of always exist with two different editors, but being not in the same room for less than like 5 episodes,
Yeah, that's true.
if you can believe it.
Out of the 188. This is episode 188.
God damn, dude, that's insane.
I thought we'd be way closer to 200 by now, but turns out taking breaks.
Turns out taking weeks off adds up over 4 years.
It does.
Which like I'm not worried about. I'm glad we've taken the time off that we have. The every other week around Christmas is a great call.
Yeah. And then like
So-
if we just need if we need a week off, we just do it, you know? This isn't like a job.
Sometimes there ain't nothing to talk about, and
That's so
sometimes we just
true.
have things to do. So what accomplishments do you see Xpwaste achieving in the next 18 months?
Year and a
go
half?
first.
I hope to have
Next.
at least some sort of recognition in a golden gnome. And I hope to have a sponsor, like a real, actual, we get paid by a company to talk about their product sponsor. That would be really cool. I would also like to have a lot more guests, some big name guests, maybe another JMod within the next year and a half. I mean, it's
Mhm.
definitely viable within the next year and a half, but accomplishments. What are accomplishments in a podcast though? We could hit 2 million streams, obviously.
I want to hit 5 million.
5 million would be huge.
5 million would be a cool milestone. Golden Gnome, I cannot stress this enough, people. Tell your local JMod to have a Golden Gnome category at the Golden Gnomes in 2026. Podcast category in the Golden Gnomes 2026. That's probably like Michael and I's big ticket target item is we want a Golden Gnome for podcasting. Are we going to get it? We don't know. Like we always joke that like realistically we're probably going to lose to Sebe. I don't think either one of us care, but I think as like not to toot our own horns too much, probably the second biggest old school podcast out there. At this point, we're going to give it a fair shot. We just need the category needs recognition, right? It's not about winning. It's about sending a message. So that's probably the biggest goal. I think within the next 18 months, if we do that, we get 5 million streams, we get more JMods on the show, and then we get those creator wristbands. I think it's mentioned a little bit down the line, but like, you know, which like I guess kind of like leans into another question from Questcaper, Olkey. He says, any big plans for podcast anniversary number 5 and any podcast goals for the next year besides the RuneFest creator wristbands?
It's for number 5?
Yeah, anniversary party number 5. I think for the 5-year anniversary, that's got to be a fly out angle.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I think 5-year anniversary, it's going to be tough because it's going to be right after RuneFest. So like, well, assuming RuneFest is on the same cadence as it is this year. If RuneFest is on the same cadence and it's in March, dude, here's some crazy shit, right? What if how the weekends fall, RuneFest is the weekend before our 3-year anniversary?
Yeah. And then
So we record the 3-year anniversary
the
episode.
5-year anniversary?
5-year anniversary
Together?
episode together. Because like we're adding more time next year, right? So like imagine we land in Heathrow, or we honestly no that unless you want to do London again for a day. We're landing in Birmingham. We're taking the long way around. Oxie was right about flying out of Toronto. He was wrong about flying into Heathrow. I don't think I was wrong about flying into Heathrow. I think we didn't have enough time to enjoy London. Michael was dying. in
Oh
London.
gosh. It was just a long day. Like, okay, London would have been great if we had flown in on Thursday, stayed the night in London, and then had Friday morning to like go sightsee, and then, you know, in the middle of the day, travel to Birmingham.
Mhm.
But it was the fact that we got off the plane at 5 in the morning and just didn't stop until we got to our hotel at like 3 o'clock. That was hell. So different circumstances.
Planes, trains, and tubes for my boy
It
for
would've been
like
fine.
6 hours straight. But I think next year, because obviously we're tacking that extra day before and the day after, maybe we cut out a little bit of time on the Thursday we get there. But okay, so here's the issue, right? Here's the problem. Are we going to get as belligerent for the 5-year if we're in London or if we're together?
Well, here's
Because
what
I don't know
could be
about you.
fun.
I don't want to be violently hungover.
Oh,
Because
true.
like I also don't know about you. Like when I was 20, 21 years old, I didn't get hangovers. I used to drink, not like drink a lot, but like I'm a big dude. I used to be able to put them away. So I do that now. I'm like dead for like 2 days. So like, and then also like getting liquor is gonna be tough too. So we probably just have to like drink beer together and do it. It
Yeah.
wouldn't be as thematic, but we'd be like at Runefest, which would be fun.
Well, it would actually
If
be
it's the
really
same
cool
dates.
if we could find like a quiet corner of a pub. Like if we go to a Witherspoons or something, find
That
a
would
quiet
be-
corner.
I
You would be
think that would be
socially
the
anxious.
opposite.
Okay.
Well, like, all right, we go. Like, imagine you pull up to an Applebee's with your family, and these two loud foreign douchebags are reading off a laptop and talking into microphones that they brought. Because like us recording at a Weatherspoons is not us sitting looking at a phone. It's us looking at a phone, looking at a laptop, bringing our studio microphones, hooking them up to the table, and then having like the waitresses come back and forth and other patrons ask us like, hey, what the hell are you guys doing? And then assuming all the technology is going to work, hoping the laptop doesn't die, hoping the phone doesn't die. That's a hotel room angle.
But that means we have to bring so much more. And remember, we said we're gonna pack light, unless we bring like a suitcase dedicated to recording equipment, and that one is just
Honestly, that might not be a bad shout to bring like a laptop, microphone arms, good camera, like one of our
Mhm.
webcams, a laptop, and just like wrap it in some t-shirts or something
Yeah.
so it doesn't get like too banged up. And then like a dedicated recording equipment suitcase is
Yeah.
probably not a bad shout if that's what we want to do next time.
could happen. But yes, 5-year is going to be a lot more, probably a lot better planned out than this one was, because we started planning this
yeah.
one last week. So
Runefest really threw it off. And it's not that like, oh, Oxie and Michael have stopped caring. It's quite the opposite. We were so entrenched in spending time in person with our friends and with each other that we got home and we finally took a break. And Michael was like, holy shit, our anniversary is like today. We're like, oh no, you know? So we opted to not do that. So here we are.
Here we are.
That's, yeah, maybe anniversary for like 5-year, do it in person together for
Yeah.
sure.
And if not at Runefest, you're either flying here or I'm going to fly there, or maybe we fly to another cool location. Who knows? We got
It's
the
the
lots of
fabled
time to-
Xpwaste. It's the Xpwaste Vegas.
Yeah, could happen. Next question, Bear RNG
Berg.
says, what do you two think the magic of old school is, and why do you believe it stood the test of time? He has an optional question,
Why?
which I guess we could answer after this one.
Why did old school stand the test of time? Old school is built on a foundation that works. The 2007 era Scape MMO, it works. It worked for us all back then, and I think objectively it works pretty well right now. I think the other piece of it is they took a system that works and found a way to add meaningful modern updates to it, right? Like nobody plays this game if it's Browserscape. Nobody plays this game if they have the same stringent rules. And like, could you imagine how quickly you would get banned? I'm cutting teaks right now. In the upper left-hand corner of my screen, it says logs cut, logs per hour, anima bark per hour. That little info box would have gotten me immediately banned in 2007.
Yeah.
So like that is the smallest example of the quality of life that has come, not even through like game updates necessarily, but from just like overall good, like the system they have works well, and they have an okay new player experience.
I kind of agree, but I'm gonna give a little different flavor of an answer. I think it stood the test of time because the foundation of what this game came back to is community-driven content. The polling system has kept things that people don't want in the game out of the game, and it's worked so far. Last 12 years, the community has come together, voted on certain things. We've brought things in the game. We've kept things out of the game. The developers are listening very intensely. And you don't get that in a lot of different gaming communities. Sometimes it's like you don't even know what the update's going to be about until you go to download it. And it's a completely new experience, and like you have to live with it. Your feedback means nothing. So we are basically like sideline developers of this game in a sense. Like we can really shape how this game, like the path that it's on. And that's very unique. And I think that has made Old School one of the best games out there. And then the second thing, RuneLite, I like third-party clients need to go to the chiropractor because they are carrying this game on their back.
I'd even extend it to third-party entities like the wiki.
Third-party entities, sure. Like not just Jagex is an individual isolated company. It's like it's all of these different companies around them that are contributing in really meaningful ways that makes Old School RuneScape, again, one of the most unique and very, very fun games of all time. Without RuneLite, a lot of us would kind of get bored or probably have quit or play less, you know? RuneLite makes this game so much more playable. The quality of life, you talked about this, the quality of life is just insane. So the addition of third-party clients, plugins, different quality of life things that they've done, even Jagex themselves, like all of this is like in culmination of how it's standing the test of time because they're willing to evolve and they're willing to change with the times and not say, no, we're old school, so like you have to suffer with bad XP rates, blah, we're not going to update it. No, it's like it's Old School RuneScape, but only in the name because this is RuneScape to us. This is RuneScape. Good question, though. They said, optional, what motivates you? This is Baron G. Berng. Second question, what motivates you to keep coming back to making the best Old School RuneScape podcast? I think it's the community for me. It's a very broad and vague answer. Like, the community could mean anything, but like, we make this show for you guys, the listeners, the people who say, I haven't played RuneScape in 2 years. I found your podcast on Spotify and now, you know, I'm playing again. Or the people who feel like they have a community because of Xpwaste and TNL specifically. Mm-hmm. That's what keeps me doing this. If it was just me and Oxie talking into a microphone with no feedback or no interaction with anybody else, I think it would have
fizzled. We stopped doing this shit a long time ago.
Would have stopped a while ago. So it's been you guys as the community and the listeners and the viewers and the people that interact with us that keeps me wanting to come back and keep making it.
I agree 100% because this shit is tiring sometimes. It is tiring. I mean, granted, I don't edit as much anymore, and I think that's helped substantially with like the show burnout, but it does on occasion get tiring to do the show. Not in a bad way, but like knowing there are people who in a way have an expectation, if that makes sense. There's an expectation that you're going to deliver top tier quality content every week. That is a big motivator for me. Whenever I have like a quote unquote duty to another person, I'm very keen to get it done. And then this is also something that like we have built and nurtured together over the last 4 years at this point. So it's not something we're just going to be like, yeah, it can, we don't care. It'll come back whenever. Like, no, we're pretty invested at this point. So it is certainly the community. You guys help a lot with all that.
Definitely. Are you finished with your chocolate Saturday?
Damn near, are you?
I've been done for a while actually. I don't think I drank as much, but I would be keen for another drink.
Keen to make another drinky drink, huh?
We do have a lot of questions to get through at this point, but
that's fine. That's fine. We'll load up another drink and we'll just sip on it. What do you think? Do you want to go with one of Tiki's drinks?
I think I have all the stuff for one of Tiki's. Yeah, I have the one that takes like the tonic water and the pineapple juice and the mint. Oh, frick, where's my mint? Okay, I gotta go get my mint. But yes, I went to 3 grocery stores to find mint leaves for this drink. And let me tell you, I didn't think we had a mint shortage around here, but apparently we do.
That's a skill issue, dog.
Did I not buy rum? Am I an idiot? Did I buy the gin instead of the rum?
How do you not have rum in your house?
I don't. You think I go around drinking, but I don't. The only alcohol most of the liquor I have in my apartment right now Oxie?
Is from the last time we did this show.
What bottles do I buy?
You buy the shooters because I told you this time not to buy them damn shooters.
And
because it's not even enough.
That's why I don't have alcohol in my house, because I buy the shooters. What do I have something from last. I bought these. Is this rum? No, this is Grand Gala, and this is Blue Agave Tequila. What is this one? This one is a mango shada, a jalapeno tequila. So no, I don't have any rum. Frick! Okay, this is gonna sound really dumb, but is rum like whiskey? Are they in the same family? Don't roll your eyes. Just answer the question.
I don't know.
Then why'd you roll your eyes?
I don't think they're very similar.
I literally just need 2 ounces of it. Oh, I'm gonna message him.
Okay. He did this last time too. Yeah, fucking thank you, Chi. It's almost as if we've done this 4 times and man is never prepared.
He says, "What do you have?" He said, "Not really. What do you have?" And I said, "Whiskey and lots of vodka."
He's gonna be so disappointed.
Tito's and
oop. And oop.
Okay, this needs to be shaken, right?
Stirred.
Oh.
So this is basically just a fancy gin and tonic.
Oh, wait. The reason
What?
I don't have rum is because I'm not making the first one.
You said you're not making. See, he said it's his favorite. You're not
I
making the first one?
No, I'm not.
Boo.
I'm making the second one.
Boo. You're a menace. That's Tiki's favorite drink.
Sorry, bud.
We're making another drink. This is one from Tiki this time. This is basically a fancy gin and tonic. For this one, it requires 6 mint leaves, which I have here in this cup. It requires some lime juice, which, am I going to look at the ratio? No. I'm just going to squeeze that bitch right in there. Just give it a good old squeeze.
Do I take these off the stem?
I would hope so.
Yeah, you're probably right. I had to go to so many places to get mint. I don't know if that stayed in the episode.
Shit.
But I went to 3 different stores today to find mint leaves because nobody had them apparently.
Texas with the mint leaf skill issue.
So Walmart, Sprouts, and then finally Kroger had it. It was quite
so
the
got
trek.
That in there, and then
This is my cup.
we also need to add sugar. So I've got a sugar packet, and I'm just gonna add this is like a sugar packet is presumably the same as like maybe a tablespoon. Is it tablespoon or teaspoon? It's tablespoon. So I'm gonna add a second packet of sugar because that seems closer.
Man, I didn't roll my lime before I cut it. This is gonna be bad. There's no juice. You know what? The whole lime is going in there because we're smushing this baby up anyway.
And that is next. We just gotta mash that bitch up.
Yeah, we're gonna go whole lime in there. Well, not the whole thing, but a good portion of it. Sugar, lime, and mint.
So smash it up. It's getting everywhere. Oh, it's in my eyes.
This is a like a ground beef masher. That's all I had.
Man, you got a fucking beef masher, but you don't have a mixer jar? That's crazy.
Isn't it? Reconata says, Michael, if you stab the flesh of the lime, it'll juice easy. Yeah, probably true. And I think if you take a lime, I don't even know the ripeness of these limes if they're even ready, but if you roll it on the table a bit before you start, then you can also get some better juice out of it. We're gonna go and put the rest of the lime in there.
So ice is in, and then after that, Tiki has said to add the other ingredients in there as well. So 1.5 ounces of gin and then some tonic water.
A shot is about an ounce, right?
Yes.
So one of these bad boys, 50 milliliters. Hey Siri, how many milliliters are in an ounce? 29 milliliters are in an ounce. So it's not even a whole one of these. Wait, actually, if it's an ounce and a half, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, so this is a whole
ounce
thing
and a half
of
of
boys.
gin.
It's a whole shooter.
Please don't explode. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Was this supposed to be shaken?
No, you don't shake a gin and tonic. It'll explode in your face.
Oh, because there's tonic in there?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody is rolling in their
So
grave.
we're following these recipes pretty exact to what we're looking at here.
I'm going to go a step further. And since I put a whole lime in mine, I am going to strain just the juice through a little sifter thing.
The last thing Tiki has us adding in this drink is a couple slices of cucumber. Let's see. 6 slices, as Tiki has said. So we're going to take these and just sort of toss them in as such. And then the ice is in, which maybe we should have added later. This is not mixing super well. I think having all these giant ice cubes makes it difficult to mix. Maybe I'm just an idiot. I don't know. I'm just like sloshing it at this point because it's not stirring the way I would hope it would. Literally, you would think we are competent grown men. Every time we have to make one of these drinks, we look like 2 16-year-old snuck into his dad's liquor cabinet bumbling idiots. Every time we do this. It's like we never have the right tools.
No.
We never have the know-how. We're just chilling, you know?
Well, maybe for our 5-year anniversary, we fly out to one of our locations and we actually go to we take a cocktail class in preparation, and then we come back and we take what we've learned and we apply it in real life.
That's so gay. I'm in.
I love cucumber. My wife, God love her, she's allergic to cucumber. The reason we found out that she's allergic to cucumber is because we got into a juicing phase where we juiced one time, and a lot of stuff that you juice can be enhanced by cucumber or squash or just thick vegetables like that. So we were putting cucumber in a lot of stuff. So cucumber, apples, carrots, just mixing vegetables with sweet stuff. And she takes one sip and her mouth starts to itch and her lips start to swell. And she's like, oh, I'm allergic to something in there. And she's like, what did you put? I was like, apples, cucumbers, something else. But she's like, okay, I know I can eat apples. She's like, I've never really eaten cucumbers. This is going to be a very interesting drink. I'm about to reveal it, and I want to get your honest reaction. Ooh.
Bit fruity.
Is it a bit fruity? No, it's a bit veggie. All right, you ready? You got yours?
Let's do it. Mine's not as elegant,
Ah.
but
So this isn't necessarily a themed
it's not
drink.
a RuneScape drink.
Not a
It's just a
RuneScape
nice,
drink.
nice warm weather gin and tonic, you
There we
know?
go. Cheers, mate. Ooh, yeah. Okay. I like it. The cucumber does add.
Ooh.
Like I'm getting the fragrance of the cucumber because I put mine on the rim of the glass. Probably could pop one down into the drink actually. Just get in there and take a bath, cucumber. I like cucumber water actually. Funny enough, like if you put like
Yeah.
lemon and cucumber and you let it percolate in some water. So this would be good
not too
without.
bad.
This would be good without the alcohol too. It's like a lemon, lime, cucumber, mint water. Very hippie.
I'm drinking that way too fast.
I think. Well, it's only a shot.
I don't think I put enough.
It's a
I was
shot.
gonna say, I don't
and a
think I
half.
put enough gin in there to get really fucked up off of that.
It's a shot and a half,
Because like
or like it's a
I
shot.
will like normally when I have gin and tonics, I have them for my sister. My sister has a heavy pour.
Bro, your video when you're just like 2 ounces of whatever it was, and you're like good.
6 ounces of vodka. Yeah, no, I get that. That's partially from my sister because that girl puts so much gin in her G&Ts. It's like not even funny at some point.
Oh,
like it's
like
it's
you're
almost
you're
illegal.
worried.
A little bit. Literally, she'll have like a wine glass, right? She'll take the wine glass, fill it to there with gin, just put a splash of tonic
Oh,
and a little
gosh.
bit of lime in there.
Okay.
They're good. They're good.
Yeah. Well.
It's like my sister's born on Halloween. So for my sister's 21st birthday, her and I were at the same college at the time. I was doing my master's program there. She was doing undergrad there. So when she turned 21, she was like the last of the friend group. The last of like any friend group. She's like the baby of the groups, right? My friend group and hers. Turns 21 on Halloween. I got her a treat basket and I also got her a trick basket. So I did trick or treat for her 21st birthday. Treat was all sorts of like candy and chocolate and shit. Tricks was just liquor.
Nice.
I think the only non-alcoholic thing I put in there was tonic water for her gin and tonics. Everything else was like apple crown, but because it was her birthday, I got like the good shit. Like I went out with my dad and we found like I like Bombay Sapphire.
You do.
It tastes good and it's affordable. I got my sister like the good Hendrix. I got my sister like good like Grey Goose vodka. I got my sister. I think the only thing I got her that wasn't like top shelf shit was Bacardi because they had a Bacardi bottle with a jack-o'-lantern on it. for Halloween.
That's fun.
So I'm like, I'll give
That's
that to her. 'Cause
thematic.
That's thematic and fun, right? And I do love a bit of a flair for the dramatic, you know?
Yeah.
So that was fun. Yeah. And then she still has some of that Hendrix.
Wow.
Cause like she like it's good. It's like celebration liquor at
Nice.
this point. Like we don't it's not like a $300 bottle or anything like that. I'm not like made of money, but it's like we break out the Hendrix, it's for a good time. And when she puts 2/3 of the glass is gin and the rest of it is tonic water and a little bit of lime. Oh, it's so good. It's real good. My sister has a heavy pour. I'll tell you what.
I'm gonna drink half of this down, and then I'm gonna pour another shooter in there.
Are you wild?
Yeah.
Hendrix is like $40-ish. Yeah, just about. It's not a cheap liquor. Funny enough, it's probably the most expensive birthday gift I've ever bought her.
Wow.
When I got her like I think it was like 6 different bottles of good liquor.
Oh, like all together.
So it was like 5 bottles of good liquor, the Halloween Bacardi, which I don't think she's opened. I think she's actually kept as like a little fun thing. And then obviously like I had to spend a little bit on like the baskets and the other bullshit. And then like the treat basket was all just like food. Like my sister loves those like Ferrero Rocher things. Like ever since she was a kid, she's like, also not the cheapest snack in the world, but it's your birthday, so here's like the 24 pack. You know, it was like shit like that I put in the basket. It's like that was probably the most money I spent, but I think once my dad caught wind of what I was doing, I had purchased about 3/4 of it. And then when he and I went to a liquor store together to find some of the other stuff, and I went to pay for it, and he just like one ticked his card on the thing. He's like, you're doing too much. You're doing way too much. I'm like, okay. Because this is pre-COVID, so I was getting funded on a student loan return.
Ooh.
And my job at the cafeteria in graduate school. So
Damn, falling on a budget.
good times had by all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, let's get moving, schmoving here with the questions.
Moving schmoving with the questions, baby. What are we doing? Who's up next?
And Iron Robin, who says, which tile do you think has been stood on for the most cumulative time by all Iron Man accounts?
This is going to be the most basic bitch answer. When you are walking up to the Grand Exchange, it is the tile that is on the left side closest to the entrance that faces a banker. It's that like almost like that section of like banker, corner, GE merchant tile on that front left side.
Yeah.
Those are the most stood on tiles, I think, probably in the entire game. So I know what you're thinking. Iron Men don't use the Grand Exchange, but it's not a bad. Ralph just got the rock column pet.
Holy shit. Way to go, Ralph.
That's fantastic.
On the
That's my
GIM.
group mate, baby.
That's amazing.
On the
Spooned.
GIM. What a man. What a man. I would venture to guess it's one of those tiles.
Well, you were beginning to
Specifically
say
for UIMs.
Iron Man don't use the GE, but they're still there bank standing.
Yeah, you're still there bank standing. You're still there socializing. Like if it's not the GE because we stand alone or whatever, I would bet that Sears Village has some hot tiles.
Sears Village
about
or
you? Where do you think?
Crafting Guild could be a big one. The bank there, like a lot of end
For
game.
the end game ones, yeah.
So Crafting Guild, I was going to go with Wintertodd. So if you're an East or Wester, depending on which side, it's that tile that's like you're kind of in the corner between the brazier and the wall, or the tile that's like next to the Bruma root. But somewhere in Wintertodd has to be a tile that's been stood on by almost like a lot of Iron Man, because not every Iron Man goes to Wintertodd immediately, or even maybe at all, but a lot of them do. So
what side are you?
so if you're walking in and the Wintertodd is in front of you, like you're not walking in the Wintertodd's on the south, so the camera is facing south. I am on the right side. So is that
Hold on.
west?
The camera's facing south?
I think so.
If you're looking at the Wintertodd from the doors, I think the
if you're
camera's facing north.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're looking at the camera, like if your camera's facing north and you're looking at the Wintertodd from the door, I'm on the right side, which is the east side. East side, best side. I did 100% of every Wintertodd that I've ever done on any account on the east side. I'm an east sider all the way. And you're shaking your head because obviously you're a west sider, I presume.
West Side Gang, baby. I used to be a Northwest Side Gang.
Ew.
Great. I could dude, I got all the braziers. I was lighting and fixing every single one because nobody was there.
Oh.
I was getting hella XP way back in the day when I used to go.
Lovely.
But once I got a pool, I think it was Scape. This was long before I maxed. Scape was like, why are you taking food? I'm like, why not? He's like, you have an HP cape and a regen bracelet and a POH. Teleport to your house, hit the pool, and don't even bring food. You're not going to die. I was like, no shit. And sure enough, like on my main, I just like pooled in between every game.
Yeah, I did that on the main too. It's
but
very
unfortunately for like on that, once you start pooling after every game, it becomes so much more convenient to just go to the south side that I stopped being a north side boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now that the Wintertodd crates are stackable,
ooh,
maybe I'll go back to the north side. Who knows? Who's to say? Who's to say?
Well, you're not gonna have a pool on your Iron Man, so
I don't have a pool yet. No, but the like Wintertodd is. Have you done Wintertodd since the update?
It's nice.
It's a joke.
It's really nice. Second question from Iron Robin. It says, you have plain white rice. What toppings are you putting on it before you eat it. And he said, there is a right answer. Ranch. Ranch is the right answer. Obviously, ranch is a good one.
Are you a ranch on rice guy?
I am. And I have like sriracha seasoning. It's probably just like dehydrated sriracha ground into a seasoning, but it's really good. And it's from Trader Joe's, I think. I have a sriracha seasoning I put on a lot of stuff.
Like, obviously, plain white rice, this might not be the best with. But you know what? Fucks yum yum sauce.
Ooh, never had it.
It is so good. First time I ever had it was at like a noodle place in East Lansing. And I walked in and it's one of those things where like it's one of the takes I have that like is maybe a little not great. No white people were working there. All Asian people. So I knew it was going to absolutely bang. And they said, "Do you want yum yum sauce?" I said, "What is that?" They said, "You'll like it." And they gave it to me. And to this day, I still don't know what yum yum sauce actually is. Like, I don't know what the base is. I don't know what it's flavored with. It bangs. It is so good on fried rice. It's good in ramen. Oh, yum yum sauce. You give me plain white rice. Give me plain white rice with nothing on it. You say you're only allowed to have one topping. I get it. Ranch for the meme. It's kind of funny. Ranch on rice. Yum yum sauce on rice. That's what I'm going with. I'm going with yum yum sauce.
Teriyaki sauce on white rice is actually pretty good too. So, yeah, there's a right answer. And what that right answer is, obviously, it's up to you. Why don't you hit us with the next question?
Well, I was going to say we have some video entries.
Videos? Ooh.
Yes, we have some video entries. So we're going to start off with a legend on line 58.
Okay.
The Xpwaste historian, if you were, from line 58, the man who knows everything about the Xpwaste podcast history. This is a submission from Swole that we're going to put on screen now for you guys.
After 4 years of you two doing the podcast, what is the content that you both enjoy doing the most and like together? And what content would you rather never ever do with the other podcaster?
Okay. Thank you, Swole. What's up, handsome? Swole said,
What a handsome fella.
we probably have the same
I know
answers.
Michael has answers. I know Michael has answers for what he never wants to do with me again. I'm curious what he loves doing with me.
Okay, let's go with the second one first. And we can both say it at the same exact time. Are you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
TOA. Yep. Oh my god.
We don't want to do
It's a terrible
together.
combination. It's a terrible Michael and I in TOA is a terrible combination. It's so bad. Michael and I really should never be allowed to do TOA together again.
Never.
It is for two people who are relatively close online and in real life. TOA is like we're getting a divorce.
Yeah.
Every time we get in that bitch, TOA is a divorce.
Because you're an anxious
Now, like,
bitch, and I'm not good at some of the mechanics.
It's not that I'm an anxious bitch. It's just that like I feel like every time you and I do TOA together, first of all, I'm an anxious bitch. I feel like it's every time you and I do TOA together, you're always trying to make it so unnecessarily easy.
Okay.
It's like the whole time. It's like, what if we didn't use Overclocked 2? What if we didn't use Feeling Special? What if we didn't use a timer? It's like, brother, these infos are free. Please. I don't want to run a 50 invo TOA. God damn it, Michael. Like, that's the issue that I feel I always have in TOA. And I'm sure, like, you could probably give me a million reasons because I know I am insufferable.
Yeah. Well, you take somebody who's not having fun at the thing that they're doing, but they're also a stubborn little bitch and won't do anything to make it better for themselves.
Yup.
That's Oxie and TOA. It's like, yeah, I know this sucks and I know I hate it, but I'm not going to do anything to change that. And we're just going to do it how I hate it.
That's the issue with TOA. That's why it's inherently a bit of a crusty design because there's always more to push for in TOA.
Yeah.
There's never like a, okay, cool, like we don't have to do a CM, we don't have to do a scaled raid, we can just chill. You know, like even when I get the boys together and we do power ship 175s, there's always the thought of like, but what if we just made it a 300?
Right.
What if I just went and fucked myself? I don't want to do that. Right? Like with Tob, you got two options. It's regular or it's hard mode. The most variance I get in Tob is it a 3, a 4, or a 5? And that changes very little in Tob for me.
Yeah.
At Chambers, is it a reg? Is it a CM? How much is it scaled by? Also, funny enough, negligible in most cases.
Right.
I will say a CM is a little bit different. I do prefer to go on CMs with people who I know can hold their own in Chambers, if that makes sense. Like, but I think I've said it before. CMs are one of the few pieces of content that is like legitimately gear locked. Like if you go to CMs with like 58 Herblore and an RCB on an Iron Man, you're gonna have a dog shit time.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not fun because everything hits harder, everything is stronger. It's just not a good time. But regs just don't scale it, dog. Chill.
Yeah. You pick the easiest rooms too.
Yeah, you literally get the raid you want every single time. And like you get to a point where like the room layout doesn't matter. It legitimately doesn't matter. I'll do any room at this point. I don't even have a room I dislike. Whatever.
I think that's my answer.
You know?
I like doing Chambers with you because you're not a little bitch when we do it. And I haven't done enough Tob to realize if I like it or not. I don't right now.
You've gotten a lot better at Chambers in the last 2 years.
Dude, I'm at 200 KC.
Yeah, that it's actually like, yeah, it's fun to do. It's fun. Chambers is a good time. The issue I run into doing raids with you is what account do I take? It's, do I take the account that I know I'm gonna have fun on and not feel miserable? Because like, this is why I think Vorkath is miserable on the GIM. Like, my average kill time at Vorkath is like a minute 20 seconds. My average kill time at Zulrah is 55 seconds. When you set me up for a 5 or 6 minute kill, that shit sucks. It's like, do it go on the account that I have fun on? Or do I go on the account that could benefit the team? Because that, like, I will always MVP over you right now. It's just, there's no, like, you don't beat Scythe Shadow Tebow at Chambers with your current setup. But that also means that I get the purple, you get the money, but we don't get it for the team.
Mm-hmm.
And that feels real bad if I just am a Dex prayer scroll simulator if we go together. So I'm always very torn about what account to take with me. I'm much more comfortable taking my GIM if I'm just getting hard carried, you know? But
yeah. You got to AFK those skills, man. AFK that range, AFK that magic, get you up there in the 90s. You'll be fine.
Kind of have to.
You rarely
Shit
ever
sucks.
use melee. I mean, the melee hand, but it's not as detrimental. Range the entire raid, basically. So Ruby Bolts will get you.
Mr. Bartender himself, he's arrived. Brother, what you think of our fancy gin and tonics?
Oh yeah, check out mine, Tiki. Not how you probably imagined it.
Got the cucumber slices in there, lime juice. It's pretty good. It's a very, very smooth gin and tonic.
Tiki has arrived. Cucumber cooler. Okay. That's what it's called. Cucumber cooler. It is pretty good.
Different than a
I
gin
would
and tonic?
love this in the summer.
Like, other than the fact that it's got cucumbers in it, Tiki, legitimately,
I don't think you put sugar in a gin and tonic.
I mean, that's true. But it's very good.
No sugar or mint. Oh, a gin and tonic is literally just like lime.
It is
tonic
quite
water,
literally,
gin.
it is the recipe. It's like a grilled cheese. The recipe's in the name. Like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Should we do the other audio question that we have here?
Sure, let's do it. This one is from Sabaza. Dies quite often.
We'll be back after this.
You've been tasked with building out a new lunar prayer book. What are some of its effects? How would you make it work if you didn't have access to the protection prayers? Here's an example inspirational prayer. The player can choose the type of melee damage that they deal, such as slash, crush, stab, lunge, or chop, while leaving their selected experience options, such as attack, strength, defense, or balance, selected.
Lunar prayer book. A lunar prayer book with presumably no protection prayers. I would create a prayer or a prayer set that allows people to work well in teams and really lean into the like. So in RuneScape, right? It's an MMORPG. There are no roles. There are no classes. You get 23 skills, you can get all of them to 99, right? There's no classes. Everybody melees, everybody mages, everybody ranges, everybody tanks, everybody heals. I think a lunar prayer book would be super cool if they had different prayers for different roles. Like not quite protect from missiles, but like lunar protection, where like if somebody has this prayer up for a minimum, like going up from like 40 ticks or something like that. It's like you have to keep your prayer activated. The party takes negative 50% damage. It's like lunar justice. You have the prayer up. You take full damage, but every player or players within like a 15 tile radius of your center tile take 60% reduced damage because presumably you're tanking, right? There's another prayer that is like lunar healing, where if you have the prayer on for 30, 40 ticks, right? It's got like a minimum activation time, so you can't just like flick it on when people are eating to really lean into that roll thing. Food heals for 1.5 times. So instead of healing for 20, a shark would heal for 30. Right? So you have your tank, you have your healer, you have your DPS rolls. Imagine like you have like a lunar torment. And if you have the prayer on, players around you who are also praying lunar torment get an extra 10% damage buff. And it stacks on top of each other. So if you're at like God Wars, for example, and you're all at like Bandos, let's say, and like the tank at Bandos is on regular prayer book and they're just praying for melee. But the three of you are all on Lunar Torment and you're all just hitting like 60, 60, 60, 60 on Bandos. Or like you use that shit at Corp and you just start wailing on that bitch with your fangs with like no damage cap. That'd be pretty cool. The problem with no protection prayers is how do you design a prayer book for a game that's combat system for 20 plus years has been based around protection prayers. But I think a lunar prayer book that leans into the roles would be fun.
Nice.
What about you?
I'm an idiot. And this whole time, I've been thinking of alternative lunar spells because I heard lunars and I'm like, okay, we're thinking of a different spell book than the one we currently have. I don't have anything. Good job, Oxie. You did it. If you want to know my answer, and it's really good, a new lunar spell is you cast a spell called Pyromancer on a log, and it burns 4 logs in your inventory in a 2x2, but it takes around the same time that it would to like burn 4 logs, but it moves you over 2 squares. So you can just cast the spell once, wait however many ticks, cast the spell again. It's like a more AFK. Tiki says he's invented bonfires. Sure, but you only get half XP for bonfires or whatever it is. You get reduced XP for bonfires. This is not a bonfire. It makes a 2x2 square of fires, and then it moves you over and you do another 2x2 square. But you have to use runes to do it.
I wonder if there would be a tick manip method with that where you could like rooftop fire make some stupid shit like that.
That would be cool. Another interesting spell that I thought of would be like smithing without an anvil. So instead of having to be at an anvil to smith things, you could just cast a lunar spell and it would smith one item up to like 3 bars worth. So you couldn't make like plate bodies or whatever, but if it takes at least 3 bars or a minimum 3 bars, then you could smith that item in your inventory. with lunar spells. So I don't have anything for prayer, but if you want a magic suggestion, I got you. I think you dies quite often for that question. Next up, Flying High. This is a pretty long one, so bear with me. Flying High asks, hypothetically, Jagex has decided to put an Echo reward weapon into the main game. The only thing the players decide is which one and a perk to not make it completely OP. The perk has to be on brand with the weapon and can't alter the existing stats or mechanics. Which you're picking and what perk would you add? And here's his answer. He says, I'd pick the Drygore Blowpipe, and since it's a 1-tick weapon, the perk would be a 1 in 1,000 chance that the attack teleports you to Lumbridge. You don't die, it just sends you to Lumbridge. Do you take it to raids? Is it the new weapon to train Slayer? Seems like it would find a niche somewhere. I wouldn't call that a perk. That sounds like a straight up like monkey paw type thing. Like you get a really good thing, but at some point, every 1,000 potentially shots, you're just getting teleported away. So you could be at whatever final boss you're doing, or the boss could have 1 HP left, but you just teleported out of an instance. That sounds like a monkey paw type.
I think
deal.
it would be more interesting if it was a 1 M1000 every time it used a charge or a dart. Could you imagine you got a quiver or you got a backpack on and you save 85 or something % of your ammunition, so it only uses a dart once every couple of 100 shots or something like that, so you don't even remember the effect is a thing, and then just like bam.
Oh, so the effect only happens if the dart gets consumed. That's funny. That would be hilarious, actually. So it would actually happen a lot less than you would think, but you would kind of forget about it in that situation. That's funny. I like the Drygore Blowpipe idea of it being an alternative to the Tanzanite Fang Blowpipe, the Zulrah Blowpipe. But like, I didn't get to use it at all in leagues because I was not in that region. So I would pick the Kopesh, because that bitch was fire. Now, its younger brother, slightly less handsome brother, the Voidwaker, would be outclassed in every single way. So I would make it take 100% spec instead of 50%, just to kind of balance it. But the AoE effect of the Kopesh is kind of crazy. I don't think we could get away with having the 1,000 Dragon Ward in the game, where you just like have immunity to everything. Poison, freeze, venom, stat reducing, Dragonfire, all of that. Like, I don't think that has a part in anywhere in the game. But if they had like an end game encounter similar to like Colosseum, where it's wave based, and maybe like a random chance, kind of like the Tonal's ticks or whatever they're called, where it's not necessarily the end game item of the Colosseum. You're not going to the Colosseum for the chance at the Tonal's ticks, but it's at a chance of it. If they put the Kopesh in the game, where you have like a wave-based thing and it's a chance to get it, I think that would fit, and it would be kind of a neat alternative to the Voidwaker. But the perk, what is the perk? Maybe if we're going along the same chant, like the same lines of this is more of a monkey paw, where it's a disadvantage to a really cool weapon. You have a 1 in 500 chance that this thing KOs you when you use the spec. So instead of inflicting damage on the target, you are then just like 1 in 500 chance you're dead because it backfires on you or something. Question would be, would you go for it as a hardcore, not wanting to be in the wilderness? But then this also can just like KO you as a hardcore Iron Man. I think it would be fun.
Sounds very stressful for sure. I think I didn't use it at all. I gotta add the Soul Spear. That shit was so cool. They brought the Soul Spear in. It even had the same sound profile when it hit the damn floor with the solar stacks or whatever it was. That shit was so cool. I think the perk of the Soul Spear, I think it stays exactly the same, but you slow down the attack speed. I think you make it a 6-tick weapon like a God Sword or the Darok's Great Axe or something like that. And the more prayer bonus you have, the higher max hit you get. So it has a huge bonus when you have like full Sunfire on, and like you take Sunfire and all that into like Tob or something like that for your Soul Spear benefit, but it's slow. It's typeless and it's area of effect, but it's slow. So
Gotcha.
you can stack with it. You could stack, you know how good melee training that would be?
Yeah.
If you stacked like go and like burst Necreals, but with the Soul Spear. That would actually be kind of cracked. That'd be really cool to do. Like every 6 ticks, just like sit there at AFK with like the whom, bing, whom, bing. That'd be so cool. I love the sounds they use for Soul, by the way. As a game sound enjoyer,
How would you know?
Because I've simmed it a lot.
It's a joke. I'm just kidding.
Oh, don't worry, asshole. I know. But the sounds they've made, as someone who like, as I've said many times, sound is very important to me. And like the way things sound initially, if they sound that way for a while and then change, I hate it. If they sound that way for a while and then something that is an homage to that sounds the same, I really like it. I was considering going Varlamore just because of the way the spear sounded. Like, oh, if I made it there in my GIM, abso-freaking-lutely. You know?
In retrospect, you should have gone to Varlamore and done a ton of Coliseum just in leagues to get experience with it.
I don't think it would have helped. Because I would have, it wasn't the like, it wouldn't have been the help I needed for Coliseum. It would have been like, because for me, if you're a demigod with a 2-tick scythe who can just kill yourself and be fine, that's not experience in Coliseum. That's not even experience with Soul, really. So like,
True.
I'm fine that I didn't, but that spear looked cool. So I'd bring the spear.
Love it. Next up, Melvin Man. Frequent community question answerer, fun question sometimes asker. Melvin Man says, many of my IRL friends played RuneScape way back in the day, but none except me actively play now. What would you say to try and get them hooked again? Like I am. Happy anniversary. Your podcasts make me really look forward to every Thursday. Thank you, Melvin Man.
Thank you, Melvin
AKA
Man.
air quotes. So I think it's a hard one, honestly, because RuneScape is not for everyone. And a lot of people, when they play RuneScape, they have a tendency to complain. Like us in the community, we know each other. Like we know what the grinds look like. We know what each other's going through. And so when we complain about like, oh man, I'm like, if you're Boon Babe, and you're like nearly 15,000 KC dry of getting the rat pet. Like she can sit there and complain probably for hours about how much she hates the rat boss. And people in the RuneScape community get that. But if you're at a party, nobody here plays RuneScape, you can't be like, oh my gosh, I've killed this boss 15,000 times and I've not gotten the, like this is not going to win people over. So you have to take a new approach. You have to talk about the intricacies of the quests, the intricacies of all the different skills and how they interlock together. You talk about the immersive world and the booming economy that you have access to if you don't play an Iron Man. Or you talk about the freedom of the game and how many different ways you can get from point A to point B. There are so many different ways to play this game that I would venture to say it's probably one of the most free open sandbox type games that I've played in a long time. And I would venture to say it probably is the biggest like free, like, okay, this is, I don't know how to like, I don't know how to word this other than say like, you have free will within this game to do whatever you want, however you want it, and whatever time you do it. If you want to try and get a fire cape with one prayer, you can do it. It's just going to take some time. It's going to take some skill. If you want to like max your account and then do PVM, like true endgame PVM, you can do that. So like there's so many different routes that you can take that this game truly is a real sandbox open world MMO, and you have other people that you can interact with. It's not just like you're sitting at the sitting on a couch with your controller, bored, alone, not talking to anybody. You have community. So Drunk Michael is really excited about getting people into this game. And
I was gonna say, I can tell Michael's drunk because he's just rambling.
I ain't rambling, I'm answering the question. You just like get them hooked on the fun aspects and not like the sucky grinds. And like if you're around these people that you're trying to get them to play the game, don't complain until they're hooked.
When you do something a lot, you're gonna complain about it. Regular Not, it says rambling and red faced. Yup, that's Drunk Michael.
Listen, I
That's
have
Michael.
have a condition where if I drink hard liquor, my face gets red. I can't do anything about it.
We're using that as your thumbnail. You going? We're using that as your thumbnail.
The microphone in it.
Yeah, with the microphone in the shot, it's fine. I think for me, the best way to get new people in, you have to, if they played the game as a kid, right? Obviously, be like, hey, it's that game we played as a kid. But even if they didn't, tell them about the adventure, because that's what RuneScape is. RuneScape is an adventure. It's not a pay-to-win mobile game. It's not a linear story game. It is an adventure where you can do so many different things, right? And like saying that broad statement is not super appealing, right? But like if you can share the good times that you've had in the game itself, and you can make it seem enjoyable to other people, talk about the community, talk about the fun times that you've had. And then when they say, hey, I want to try it, right? Because you're hyping up this game to be a ton of fun, because in all reality, it is. It is a shitload of fun. The secret is to make a new account with them. If they feel up to it, do a GIM. But if not, because there is no pay to win, just make a new main account. And side note, are you just making another chocolate Saturday?
I am.
You're not making any of the other drinks?
You have 4 drinks to make. I have 3 drinks to make. And this was delicious.
Ooh. Anyways.
Boo.
Boo. We got another drink to make. What do you mean?
I
Boo?
finished my cucumber goddess.
Is that what it was called?
I don't remember.
Anyways.
Tiki says no.
Make a new main account with them. But the secret is to play the main account from the beginning. I cannot stress this enough. You guys can't make a new account with them, then be like, all right, you see this sexy guy in the blood torva? You don't know what that is, but he's going to give you 50 million GP because this is my main, and we're going to play RuneScape the fun way. Motherfucker. You're going to go around and you're going to cut trees together with the boys. You're going to bring your girlfriend out and you're going to fish shrimp until you can fish sardines, until you can fish salmon, until you can fish tuna. You're going to take your best friend or your sibling and do all these fucking quests and shit together. Maybe you bring up the wiki because like you're adults and you probably have second monitors and shit. You don't want to be like aimlessly running around, but like Captain Crash says, or just dump 10 mil on them and say, have fun. That's the easiest way to get someone to quit. Unironically, that is the easiest way to get someone to quit and have no fucking clue what they're doing. When you get into a new MMO, when you get into a new video game and you have no idea what the combat, what the story, what the gear progression, what the meta, when you don't have any idea of what's going on, but everyone else around you seems to know, and you're given what could be a lot of money, you don't know, right? You have no idea how much money that could be. 10 mil could be like someone's whole life savings worth of shit. You don't know what you could buy, especially if you're coming from another game, right? If you're coming from a game that's like not even remotely related, if you're coming from a game like Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley, if you have 10 million bells in Animal Crossing, you are fucking loaded. If you have 10 million Gs in Stardew Valley, you're at like perfection level. Like you have completed the game when you have 10 million gold just like sitting in your bank at any given time. if someone walks up to you and says, here's 10 mil, have fun, you have no context for what that means in old school, you're going to get overwhelmed. You're not going to know what to buy. You're not going to know what you do and don't have the levels for. You got to get introduced to the game. You got to roll with it. You got to like let it ride, let it be smooth, you know? Let's chop some trees for a little while. Like, oh, you want to get a new axe cuz we just hit level 40 woodcutting? We could go try to get one as a drop together if you want. Or
40,
or
41 woodcutting.
say it like a fifth time. 41. 41.
41.
He's swaying
41
back and
woodcutting.
forth, drunk as shit. This is great.
41 woodcutting.
Oh my god. Or I can have my main give us some rune axes. How do you feel about that? One of the two. And they might say, you know what? Fuck your main. I want to get my own rune axe. Sold. Let's go on a journey to get your rune axe. You could have everything done. I have a maxed account. I have done a lot of shit.
Wow.
Don't do that.
Sorry.
I'm
going to mute now.
I was gonna say, I got a max account. I've done a lot of shit in this game. It doesn't matter. If you want to go on an adventure with me and have fun together, we are gonna have like our first adventure in RuneScape, not mine, because I've had an adventure or two in this fucking point and click MMO, but our first time playing. That's how you get your friends hooked.
I like it. Picasso.
The next question from the man, the myth, the legend, the infamous. You knew he was going to show up. You knew he was going to show up.
He had to show up at some point.
It's the Xpwaste anniversary AMA. There's no way we were making it through without a question, or in this case, multiple from your boy, Otis. The man himself. Otis says, would you rather train to max combat using only long swords up to dragon, or train to 99 mage using water, earth, air, and fire spells with no teleports, no alching, nothing but spells?
Oh gosh. I'm going to have to go max combats, because at least there's no upkeep of like, I got to spend millions of GP on wrath runes and blood runes and death runes to keep doing these spells over and over and over. I can just sit at crabs for several hundred hours and call it good. With a dragon longsword, it's not going to take that long. It would take forever.
My question is, I think I'm going to take the other one, because training to 99 mage only using elemental spells with no teleports or alching or anything like that, I think that I'm doing 99 mage because presumably I can do other skills in the meantime.
Yeah.
Presumably I can do other skills, and presumably I can teleport with items.
But you can't.
With
Nope.
items that don't
like
give magic experience.
Telly tabs.
And I can tally tabs, right? I could buy some of those. Maybe I could find a way to, get other combat stats up that are not through elemental magic. Where am I going with this, Michael? Where do I make my money for all my runes, baby?
I don't know. I kind of tuned out what you're saying.
The Theater of Blood. You can get the Theater of Blood, and you just got to auto cast Surge at Nilo boss. That's it. It's the only magic you have to do in the whole raid.
Oh.
You can make a little bit of money and you're good,
magic?
dude. Because it'd be great to like splash Surge. Like that's low key how you do it. You just splash Surge. Like I feel like the 99 mage is absolutely the way to go in this situation.
They're both AFK. Like, don't get me wrong. They're both AFK. You can just sit at crabs and sit at Nagwas. Are they not Nagwas? Whatever the creature in the Nepalsi dungeon is. With a dragon longsword once you hit 60 attack. But I will say, max combat does require more 99s than 99 range or 99 mage. So you may have me there. It's 199 versus 3, 4. It's I don't know. If you said like only 99 attack,
it's like 5 or 6.99. So it's attack, strength, defense, prayer, hit points at the bare minimum. You probably need to get some mage and range levels to round it out.
maybe if we're interpreting the Otis question like this, maybe he's saying there's two scenarios. You need max combats in both scenarios. So you need like 99 attack, range, deep strength, defense, all of it. But in scenario 1, you can only train your attack, strength, and defense with a dragon longsword. But you can use any other method for magic, range, prayer, and HP. And then in scenario 2, you can use any method you want for melee, but for magic, you can only use the elemental spells. I think I would go with scenario 2. I can train my melee spell or like my melee skills however I want, but I'm locked in to only using the elemental spells for magic because I think I'm just going to spend the several hundred hours splashing to get 99 magic so that I can use teleports and freezes and blood spells and lunars and ancients and Arceus and all that other stuff. Like 99 magic probably would not take that long if you just like were able to make money for runes. That's what I'm going with.
Next question.
Let's go.
No GE for this one.
Also
right?
from Otis.
No GE. Would you rather train 99 fletching only being able to fletch regular longbows or 99 wood cutting, but you can't cut the same tree more than once? If that's possible. Assuming that's possible, you can't cut the same tree more than once. That fucking sucks.
Both of them suck.
So hold
Dude,
on.
like a
hold
regular longbow is like
on. Hear me out.
less than 20 XP, right?
I think it's got to be wood cutting.
Okay.
I think it's got to be wood cutting because if you're thorough, you could make it in a day. If you're thorough, really thorough, right? You could hit every reachable tree in maybe like a week.
Okay, Captain Crash says Hanani did it. She cut every tree in the game and it took her months. It's already been done. You realize how big the continent
I do.
Keller is.
I do. But I think if you're thorough and you lock in, right? You
But
watch
it's also going to take you a
watch
week.
Hannah's video.
It's going to take you a week
in this
to get 99
situation,
fletching.
In this situation,
Way more
it's going
chill.
to take you way longer than a week with just longbows, right?
If you're thorough. You're thorough.
Dude, it's okay. I'm going to look up because I have a calculator right in front of me from
How many
1
logs it is.
to 99 with regular longbows without stringing them. It is 1.3. It's 1,303,444 unstrung longbow. Thorough this dick.
Okay, that would take more than a week.
You go through.
You are correct.
You go through. You watch Hannah's video a couple of times because shout out to Hannah. You watch her video a couple of times, and you really get through that bitch. And you presumably by the time you're done get 99 wood cutting. You're chilling. You are absolutely chilling. I'm taking the wood cutting option for sure. Every time.
Okay. Very nice. Next up, Habitat. Habitat says, if you could pick a region for Raids 4, where would it be? What would be the theme and what would be the format? Examples are boss crawl like Tob, a mix of puzzles and bosses like Toa, or a mix of skilling and bosses like Cox. I'm going to rapid fire this one. The region is an unknown island we have not charted yet. The theme would be something to do with giants. And the format is going to be a mix of skilling and combat like Cox.
I have said it once, and I will say it again. Chagx's idea is free. In the region of Oceania, somewhere between the western shores of Gielinor and the eastern shores of Zaya, right? Assuming we expand that shit out a little bit, we get the prehistoric archipelago, and it's a Tob style raid where it's just bosses with relatively simple but fun to master mechanics. And it's all dinosaur themed.
Ooh.
And at the very end, the final boss is a gigantic, enraged, reawoken Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Why does Tyrannosaurus Rex always have to be the big bad?
Are you? Hold on.
Is there not
Hold on,
any
hold on,
other,
no,
like-
Are you disrespecting the king on my podcast?
Yes.
That's the tyrant lizard king you're talking to. You
Why?
check your tone. You check your motherfucking
Aren't there
tone
other
when you're
big
talking about
bad
the
dinosaurs?
tyrant lizard king.
Why?
Have there been other leaders throughout the world's history? Have there
I don't
been
know.
other planets that are larger than planet Earth in our solar system?
There's gotta be some like underwater.
Who's the motherfucking king? If it lives
Godzilla.
underwater, it's not a dinosaur. It's a reptile, baby girl. Look me in the eyes. Who's the king?
If you're gonna get pedantic about the classification of it has to be a dinosaur, I don't know what's a dinosaur and what isn't. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. They're all dinosaurs. All of the prehistoric reptiles, they're all dinosaurs. And I know that hurts 11-year-old Oxie's heart, but I gotta level with you. 98% of the world thinks everything that lived in the Jurassic period is a dinosaur.
First of all, it doesn't hurt my heart, right? Doesn't
It
hurt
does.
my heart at all.
It does.
Disrespecting the king, I won't stand for that in this house. But it doesn't hurt my heart. It's also more than 98%. That's that homeschooling you. It's okay, baby girl. It's okay. It's more than
Less than 98%?
T-Rex
than
also
98%
didn't
of
live in
people?
the Jurassic period. So it's like you're trying your best.
You are
and I
so
appreciate you.
pedantic.
You're
I think
trying
that
your
T-Rex-
best, and I appreciate
T-Rex
you.
being the big bad is just boring because
What do
everybody
you think
does
the big
it.
bad should be? In a dinosaur themed raid, what's the big bad? Name me a
Make-
species.
Give me a Triceratops that has gone rogue. I want to fight something other than a big guy with a fat head, big teeth, and little arms. I think it's boring.
Why?
And if it takes me drinking 3 alcoholic drinks to say it, I think that we've seen enough of T-Rex in mainstream media for that to be cool. I want other dinosaurs to be the big bad. Tiki Mug says Trogdor. Give me Trogdor, damn it. Do you know who Trogdor is?
No, I don't.
Wow.
Don't you dare disrespect the king in this house. Because, like, I think
You don't even know who
I think
Trogdor is.
Captain Crash said King Kong is cooler. I'll give you credit. I'll give you credit for a King Kong style boss being in the prehistoric raid. That would be pretty cool. If you had a Gigantopithecus in there to fight, that'd be pretty cool. Big Monkey. We've been talking about Big Monkey for a long time. That's a deep cut for you XP wasters. They used to call me Big Monkey around the Discord. I think you cannot get away from a theropod dinosaur as the final boss. I use T-Rex as an example because you don't disrespect the king. However, even if it's a RuneScape themed dinosaur like they have in RS3, you can't get away from a theropod. It's going to be T-Rex or T-Rex adjacent. You won't change my mind. Raids 4, baby. Dinosaur themed. Let's do it.
Is there a more general term that you can use for big creatures that lived millions of years ago that doesn't have to classify them as dinosaurs? Because doesn't that limit you on what you can add if it's a dinosaur themed raid?
Okay, do you want to call it extinct animals that make you feel happier?
Yeah.
How about creatures from the Mesozoic era? Would that make you feel happier?
It would.
With maybe some creatures from the Cenozoic era, just to make you feel good.
Now you're
Yeah.
putting more labels on them. Now we can't say different eras. I just want a general term. Ancient creatures, maybe. Okay, we can move on to the next question, though. Here's a clip from Captain Crash.
Yes, we should move on. He knows he's unearthing a can of worms that he knows.
I don't want to get
close.
This is Oxy's flavor of autism.
He is too drunk. He cannot close what he is trying to open.
If you watch my stream,
ain't no way you found it right now. It's been 4 years. And you guys are just figuring out that my flavor of tism is dinosaurs. I had a teammate come over to my house a couple of months ago at this point. right after a competition. And I was disgusting because I had competed in a
server
Saber
mute him.
tournament.
Hold on.
Are you server muting me?
Okay, now we can watch the clip.
Hey, bitch, I'm not done. It's my anniversary too. It's
It's your
relevant to what we're talking about.
We're supposed to be watching the clip.
And I said, I ain't done. So I take a shower and she's just sort of like sitting around my apartment. I get out of the shower at later that day or later that week or what have you, because she's sitting in this apartment, right? There's RuneScape shit everywhere. There's dinosaur shit everywhere. She was looking around and she saw all the dinosaurs and all the RuneScape and went, okay, he does have autism. That's dead ass what her thought process was. He does have a touch of the tism. I don't think it's the tism. I think it's the ADHD, but potato patism. Are you finally ready to listen to this question?
Okay.
Jesus
Can we
Christ,
finally
Michael.
listen to this question?
Keep slowing us down. My God.
Hello, my name is Eric, or Captain Crash from Calgary, Canada. Congratulations on 4 years. Through 20 plus years of playing, I have found a lot of people can have very strong negative reactions to game updates. But over time, they turn into well-loved or strong, integral parts of the game that we play now. Despite this, do you think there's been an update since the beginning of old school RuneScape that has had a long-term negative effect on the game? That's all. Thanks.
I have an answer. Do you have an answer? Because I have an answer.
You were laughing in the middle of me listening to that. I lost my train of thought.
You drunk fuck. Pay attention.
I want to mute you whenever I'm listening to, because we're not starting them at the same time.
What do you think I'm going to say?
I have no idea.
What are you going to
can't-
say? Do you want to go first?
I have no
or want me to
idea.
go first?
No, you go first.
I'm going to go first. It's time to ruffle some feathers. So far, the worst update to old school RuneScape that has in the last couple of years been detrimental to every single major combat update that has followed has been the Tombs of a Masket, specifically to Mechan's fucking Shadow, has been the worst addition to old school RuneScape we have gotten in the last decade. Mechan's Shadow has single-handedly derailed magic progression. The Shadow has, and I will keep it brief because I've bitched about this before, Mechan's Shadow has unquestionably fucked up magic progression so bad that Jagex has been what seems like reeling in the last several years to build up the rest of the combat skill around it, making magic unnecessarily complex. Melee, you click the boss. Range, you click the boss, right? Melee has some variants with stab and slash and crush and all that. They have added an unnecessary variance with range with the light, medium, and heavy ammo. But why did they do that, Michael? Because nobody was using magic that wasn't the fucking Mechan's Shadow. They had a good thing. I feel like Mike from Breaking Bad. We had a good thing, damn it. And you had to go and blow it all up with that stupid fucking weapon. I love my Shadow. It is fun to use. I can admit that it is a detrimental addition to old school RuneScape, and it is going to take Jagex years to recover magic from that.
Agreed. I'll keep my answer short and simple. I think Chargescape has gotten out of hand.
Yeah.
Just not a specific update, just an idea, a theme, an update that started all these other updates. Chargescape has gotten out of hand.
Chargescape has gotten out of hand.
It has, and I don't know where we're going to head with it, because they're continuing to add things that require charges, like new updates that will require charges.
I would be interested to see. I think the last thing they've added that isn't like requiring a charge is the Rancor. That's like a legitimate upgrade.
Yeah.
I think obviously like yes, you can talk about like You can talk about like the twin flame doesn't technically require charges. The new prayers don't technically. The new prayers are probably the most recent addition where like you get it and it's just a straight upgrade from its last thing, which is cool.
Yeah.
Without having to combine it with any other bullshit. Before we move on to the next question, Michael, how are you feeling about making another bev from the list? Because we have another bev to make. Oh no, I got a Fox thing. All right, here's the deal.
I got half of my
I'm gonna finish
chocolate
this
sundae.
I'm gonna finish this Fox thing, and you are gonna finish your drink, and then we're gonna make another one. But in the meantime, we're gonna ask an important question: who is this tiki fella? He sounds handsome.
I don't know who Tiki is, but I know that if there was a man named Tiki, number one, he would be handsome. Number two, he would be a good friend. He would be kind, genuine, sarcastic, kind of an asshole when you need him to be. And he would be very loyal and very helpful. And his overall demeanor would be deadpan, but he has the personality of 1,000 men, 1,000 great men, and I love him. But if I don't know who Tiki would be.
Rich Cheese said you're hyping him up like you owe him money. We've tried to give him money before. We've actually tried to pay Tiki with in-game GP, and he won't take it. Literally, we gave him money, I think, for Fall Bingo 24. And he's like, yeah, cool. Unrelated question. When can I start donating to Springo? I'm like, fuck you, dude. Just take the money.
Thank you, Tiki, for all your help.
What a man.
Captain Crash says, I feel like a new rule needs to be every new drink you unbutton one button. I'm kind of already there. I've gotten 2 buttons down. How many buttons are you down right now? I can't see the bottom of your shirt. Oh, he's going way. Oh, he doesn't have any.
You merely adopted the buttons, baby girl. I look like this every week. I don't ever keep this shit button.
Captain Crash getting wild up here.
Shout out to Foxes for supplying me with great shirts to wear. I went to my thing last night and I had a different shirt on. You know, my light blue one. I think I wore it last week with the cowboys riding the dinosaurs on them. I was going to wear that one. But
I don't think you wore that. You wore Noah Kahan.
Oh, yeah, I did. But I think I've worn it before. You guys have seen it. It's light blue with like pink shit on it.
You know how I know that?
Because I'm a good friend. Thumbnail. Anyways, I had worn that shirt the night prior from when we recorded. Anyways, but no, I was like wearing it and I'm like, dude, it feels short on the side. I don't really like this. And I looked and it was like really short. So I'm like, dude, I can't wear this shirt again. I can't do it. And I had to put the Duke shirt on. I had to. I wear that bitch everywhere. I've been made fun of because it's in like, I think it's in like my last 3 or 4 Instagram posts, like straight through. I love my Duke shirt. I fucking love it. I'm not wearing it tonight because I wore it yesterday. I'm wearing the Zuck shirt tonight, but
I'm wearing a shirt I've never worn on the podcast. And I haven't worn in real life in years because if I stand up, and this is content for you guys, I wouldn't do this sober. If I stand up, this bitch is so small. Like the bottom button constantly is becoming unbuttoned because I have grown what people in society call a dad bod since 2021. And I'm a 2X now, whereas before the kid, I was a 1X. And this shirt is a 1X. But sitting down, it's fine because everything falls into place. And I don't have to lift my hands.
I mean, that's why I started wearing my shirts unbuttoned because some of them were getting to be a little too tight. And I was like, that. I don't want this, you know?
And
are you streaming my screen for people? Because I see myself. You're streaming your desktop, and I see
I'm streaming
myself.
my desktop so people can hear the questions when I click on the
Ay,
The
Dios
thing.
mío, another seeing me twice.
Don't look at me. Anyway, we have a few more text questions to get through. And then we also have a couple more of and they're all from Dice quite often, actually. The Sabaza has sent in like 5 or 4 of these audio questions, and I freaking love it. So the rest of the audio questions will be from the same person. So maybe we can like rapid fire those at the end and get to the next text question, which is from Otis. Again, the master of these fun questions and would you rathers. He says, the GE is allowed. Would you rather train 99 farming, only being able to farm allotments? Or would you rather train 99 crafting, only spinning flax into bowstrings?
It's too easy, brother.
Bitch, I'm going farming.
Allotments all day long.
Going farming. Farming all the way. Because listen, if it's like something to where I can do this in my spare time. Okay, Tiki says snapegrass is basically a tree run, and that's so true. The amount of XP you can get simply from snapegrass and like watermelon and those higher tier allotments, because you're thinking like, ugh, potatoes, onions, sweet corn. Bitch, when you get to like the level where you're planting a ton of snapegrass in multiple patches around Gielinor, it's going to go way quicker than just sitting there spinning flax at whatever the closest spinning wheel is or whatever spin flax spell that you have to do to get 99 crafting. I think that this question was unfairly balanced with a bias towards farming, because 99 crafting, spinning spinning flax into bowstrings is very, very slow. So allotments hands down. Yes, Tiki said the same thing.
Crafting 1 to 99 just for laughs.
Yeah, what are we looking at here?
Yeah, flax into bowstring. Oh, it's a little bit less than longbows. It's 868,963 bowstrings. It's a lot of bowstrings.
And okay, what is the closest, if we're doing it at a spinning wheel? Is it Lumbridge that's the closest spinning wheel to a bank, or is it on Fossil Island?
Being truthful, it's going to be Fossil Island or it's going to be Priff.
Oh, Priff probably.
Oh, Priff ain't that close to anything, actually.
Ooh.
Priff ain't super
Fossil
close.
Island. You do have the spin flax spell, but that's also very slow if you're trying to do 800,000.
Here's the deal. I think it's time to make another drink.
You go ahead with your drink that I don't have on the menu, because I need a little alky break.
A little alky break? You're a menace, dude.
Captain Crash says 10 push-ups for every yawn. Me or you, big dog? Because I will not be doing push-ups. And if you're wondering why I'm saying that, I probably cut out this yawn session that Oxie and I just had, where we both yawned in sync. Or he yawned because I yawned. It's an extra shot for every yawn? Oh gosh, I can do that. I do have vodka sitting right next to me. Should I do an extra shot for every yawn?
Michael, you're going to die if you do that.
Will I?
Yeah.
I've only yawned once.
Yeah, but the more
Captain
drunk
Crash
you
is
get, the
he is
more...
a bad influence. He says yes and?
Ay, Dios mío.
Oxy M17, did you not get a party hat while you were in Runefest?
No, did you?
Do you not see my camera right now?
I didn't know if you already had that.
No, I bought it at Runefest. It's felt. It has a little Velcro strap.
Yeah, I didn't get one. I got the socks.
Are you wearing them?
No. Why would I? It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm not wearing socks. What the hell? What do you want from me, big dog?
I want you to do better. Next question we have here is from Uthred Wicked. Uthricked? Uthricked. Uthred Wicked. I don't know how to say your name, so I'm just making it up as we go. What is your favorite smaller quest line in OSRS? It can't be the Majra, the elves, or the vampires. Favorite smaller quest line?
It's small for now, but I'm hoping it expands. The slugs. like the Temple Knight storyline with the slugs is, oh my god, I love it. Like that's probably gonna be the next thing I gush about for them to release a new quest. Like once we get Blood Moon Rises, that's gonna be my next one that I want a sequel to. Because I love the slug quest line. It's so cool.
I need to Google 2 seconds.
2 small favors? Banned.
I think, and this isn't like a series, but Recipe for Disaster 2 would be really cool, where they introduce another best in slot upgrade of some sort, or maybe an upgrade to the Barrow's gloves that kind of outclasses Ferocious Gloves in some way, but not like totally takes Ferocious Gloves off of the menu, but it's just like a different upgrade to the Barrow's Gloves that makes them slightly better than the regular Barrow's Gloves, but it turns it into like a Master or Grandmaster quest where you have to do 10 hard to legendary quests, and then the final one is like a Grandmaster. Just that idea of doing 10 quests or 9 quests or however many it is to finally end up with this one final encounter, and then you're done. Captain Crash's RFD on release required that you have every quest in the game done before you could finish it. That's actually pretty cool. That's really cool. I didn't know that. There's a little RuneScape trivia for you. And he said he hated it. Next question here is from Otis again. Otis, bring it in.
You knew our man's was going to be rapid fire in these. I think he's got 2 more.
Damn. Let's go. From Otis, he says, realistically, what is the lowest amount of IRL cash to totally delete your maxed accounts? Lowest amount that you would go to delete your maxed account. Ugh. Mine is not a small number. I'm just going to let you know that. Not a small number. And it's not like unrealistic either. Like I'm not being like, I want $10 million. I think if you offered me anywhere between 500 to 750K, I would do it.
You said 10 million is unrealistic. Unironically, my first thought was like, I think I want to be a billionaire. Like, I want to have so much money. I want to have so much money in real life that I don't even have time to play RuneScape anymore. Like, I'm going to delete my main account. I want to get paid so much that I can start the Oxie Natural History Foundation and start buying up plots of corporate land, destroying the buildings, and then leaving nature to take them over because it's private land and you can't touch it. That's where I'm at. You need to pay me so much money that there is no time for me to play RuneScape anymore. I'm too busy opening museums, you know? I'm too busy being the billionaire who flexes how much money I have by investing a literal fuckload of money into public works and just like public services. So, no. 750K, respectfully, you're great. I ain't.
750K as the max offer. I think $1 million, like anywhere between 500 to $1 million as the max.
That's the minimum.
That would completely change my life right here and right now. And I could still keep my GIM. Like you're just taking away the main. It's only 6,000, 7,000 hours.
Michael,
of my
in
life
this case,
gone.
it's got to be your GIM. Like you realize that, right? Like he said, your max
Is it everything?
account.
Is it everything?
We got to make it. We've got to make it everything.
Is this
because
like
for you?
How much money?
You're finding alternatives to be like, oh, to delete the maxed account that I don't play it anymore. I'll take whatever for it. No, I'm not. I won't accept that. So for you, it's your GIM or whatever account you care about. Your shit's getting Thanos snapped out of there.
But is it every account?
Every
Can I still
account
play RuneScape?
RuneScape is deleted with this minimum amount of money.
$1 million. I would still do $1 million. No tax, like $1 million untaxed. I want seven figures at least untaxed. Tiki says we can just start over, but he didn't ask this question, so I don't know where you.
I mean, presumably you could start over, but I'm not.
I would start over. Give me $1 million, and I'll start over.
Loophole that shit. I'm not trying to loophole. If you're deleting my account I want so much money I can't play the game anymore. I don't have time. That's the way I see it.
We got another one from Otis, and then I'm
I
gonna get
think
to one of my.
I think this is the
favorite
last one
questions.
from Otis.
Okay. If you were to hire someone to be your agility bot / other skilling bot, how much would you pay them daily for 8 hours of grinding? Would there have to be a quota of XP to get paid? And how would you structure the deal? If it's agility specifically, 8 hours of grinding is, let's see, at like, if you're telling them you can chillax and just do like Sears or Artie or whatever, you're getting like probably on average 60K an hour, 70K maybe. So 70,000 times 8. Okay. So 500,000 divided by, I don't know. I think a reasonable amount for an 8-hour day, I would pay somebody like $15 an hour, probably minimum wage in California to do it. It's so easy. I don't think I would do it for $15 an hour because that just doesn't seem like, so if you make $15 in 8 hours, you're making $120. So 500,000 divided by 120. Oops, I did 420. 500,000 divided by 120. You're making 4,000 XP per dollar. Dollar in XP. So $1 is equal to 4K XP. Maybe more. I don't know. I don't think this is a hard question, dude. Because like it's something you don't have to think about. What are you paying somebody? There's got to be like services out there that have already figured this out. Like how much are we paying you to train agility on your account? If you were to talk about in-game gold, though, it would be different. Like if I was paying you GP, not like USD, GP, I would pay somebody like maybe an 8-hour day. You're probably making like $1 million an hour to do AFK agility. That seems reasonable. Because what are you going to get doing like really click intensive stuff? Like maybe if it was Sepulcher, you could charge $5 million an hour. But then if you're just like, oh yeah, train rooftops for 8 hours, or like you could just say, it's $1 million an hour. Which in real life, if you were to convert that to real life money via the RWT, it's like 50 cents an hour, which is ridiculous.
I don't know what I would pay someone. I can tell you that I have worked on a salary for RuneScape before. And it doesn't feel too bad, but I gotta level with you. Waking up and logging into both jobs at the same time, connecting to your VPN so you can get on your therapy notes software, and then immediately going to OSRS portal to find a shooting star sucks ass. So I don't know what I would pay people because I've lived that grind, and it's not fun. It's not a fun grind to live. But, tis what tis, I suppose.
Are you going to make your next drink?
I was going to say, yes. How about I make our next drink? We got, here's the deal. You're going to make Fizzle's drink, and I'm going to make Tiki's drink. Because I don't have simple syrup. Technically, I do. But apparently, it expired in 2023. And after a quick Google search, turns out simple syrup does, in fact, expire. And my anxiety will not let me drink that. So I'm going to make Tiki's drink because I'm quite excited to do that. And you're going to make Fizzle's drink. Does that sound like a plan?
It does not. Because I'm already 3 drinks in while you're still 2 drinks in.
Do you see how big my fucking giant pint glass of mudslide was?
Yeah. But I'm still 3 drinks in. So you give me a little alky break. Maybe I think you're just a potato slider.
I think you're just a coward. I think you gotta make another drink. I think you gotta make another drink.
I'm a coward.
Here's the deal. No, I don't accept that. Here's the deal. Recording booth chat, back me up on this one. Michael's gonna go pop some potato skins in the air fryer so he can shut up. And then he's gonna go make another drink. And then we're gonna continue this episode. Recording booth chat, am I right? Am I right? That's what we're doing. You're going to go pop some potato skins in the oven, and then you're going to shut the hell up, and you're going to keep on stepping.
Are we going to roll a commercial?
We can roll a commercial.
Let's do it. Peace.
So, oh, we left that in? Oh, perfect. That's break time. Bye, everyone.
How you doing, you bastards? My name's Fortunato. I work out of Draenor Village. I sell the best wine in the whole damn continent. Not in Draenor, not in Misthalin, not in Gillinor, the whole world. I sell the best wine in the whole damn world. People tell you, you're gonna buy wine for cheaper on the Grand Exchange. They lying to you. That's juice. That's juice. The best wine comes from me. Huh? The pirates, they buy my wine. Them freaks with the hats over there in Zia, they buy my wine. Okay? You gotta come over here, you gotta buy my wine. At Fortunato's, we don't waste nothing. Very rarely do I have wine that go off because it's so good, so it's flying off the shelves. When it do go off though, the vinegar, we're gonna sell that too. I hear there's some old man just east of Iraq or something like that. He wants vinegar. I don't care why. In this business, you don't ask no questions. You're hearing this ad, you're thinking to yourself, you're like, I got some buddies who make wine, I could do that too. You wanna be a tough guy? Huh? You wanna be a tough guy? Make your own wine? Try to outsell Fortunato? Yeah, sure, whatever. I dare you. I dare you to outsell me. In fact, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a head start, okay? Come over to my place, I'll sell you some jugs. They can be full of water, they can be empty, I don't care. Not even your girlfriend at the Grand Exchange has better jugs than me. I get these bitches by the gross. I'll sell you as many as you want. You can make all the wine that you want. It's not gonna be better than me. Come swing by Draenor Village, swing by my wine stand, have a good drink, and leave feeling good, okay? I promise you, you're not gonna find any better wine anywhere else.
Are we back from break? Are we?
Welcome back.
I wish you
I don't
guys.
think they can hear you. Tiki.
I wish you guys could hear Tiki yelling at Michael for the suggestion because Tiki's got the super admin priv, so he can just unmute himself in the recording booth chat. So for the last couple of minutes, Tiki's been yelling at Michael about not buying rum.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hope you enjoyed that commercial break because I know that I sure did. It's not even my episode, and I have to carry this section.
You just said it without asking. What do you mean?
I'm using vodka.
We're making another drink. Michael, what drink are you making?
I'm making a strawberry surprise, a fruit blast, if you will, with vodka instead of rum, because I didn't buy any rum.
Because he hates Tiki and Fizzle too, apparently.
I had rum in my cart, and I put it back because I'm like, hey, wait, I'm not making that drink that Tiki wanted me to make. Why is my desk mat covered in liquid? Holy freak! What the heck? What is leaking? Oh my gosh. I'm not making that drink that Tiki wanted me to make, so I don't need the rum. And I put it back on the shelf because I was frantically buying liquor while also having a 3-year-old sitting in the cart wanting to touch everything. My mouse is all wet. This is probably not good.
I'm making a drink that Tiki sent. He said it's one of his favorites. So the drink I'm making is something. I don't entirely know what it's called because he never included names of the cocktails. It's called a painkiller, apparently. Ooh, Shinkiro just got the Callisto Club cup. What a man.
Nutmeg these nuts.
So this requires 2 ounces of Osrs rum, which I didn't buy because I think I have Captain Morgan Special Reserve, Kraken, Bacardi, and Malibu. So I got all sorts of shit. 2 ounces of rum. Campari. What a little bit more rum in there just for laughs.
Half an ounce of lime. Ooh, that's a lot of lime. Good thing I got one of these bad boys.
4 ounces of pineapple juice, which also Tiki had us buy for the last one, which I still had left over from the last time we did one of these. Tasty.
Oh my gosh. I'm in shambles, guys. I bought the pineapple juice, but I don't need it. Half an ounce simple syrup. Gotta open it.
Ooh, an ounce of orange juice, freshly squeezed. I was excited for this.
Freshly squeezed. Freshly squeezed. We're making different drinks. So I'm making the
Fruit blast.
Jungle of Champions.
Michael's got no idea what he's doing. I freshly squeezed the orange juice before we
Oh,
started
frick,
recording.
brother. I need ice. Entertain
Oh,
the
that's
folks.
good. Fresh squeezed orange juice is pretty bitchin'. We're going to add that in there too. What else do we have to add? An ounce of cream of coconut. Now, I have never seen this shit before. Cream of coconut. It looks like, for the audio only listeners, I want you guys to picture like a jar of mayonnaise with a coconut on it. This is cream of, I got to get a spoon actually. This is cream of coconut.
We can't both get up. This is not how the podcast works.
No. Michael, I need to show the viewers this. Right?
Okay.
I just needed to get a spoon. This is the cream of coconut that Tiki recommended.
Yeah.
It's cream of nut. All right, that's for sure. Hold on, let me make sure I'm in view here.
Oh gosh. Where does this go? Oh god. Cream on, right?
Oh yeah, that. Oh god, it's leaking everywhere. Oh god,
I need to do a little desk.
demonetized. What does that even taste like? Hold on.
Oh, he goes straight in. Brave man. Does it taste like suntan lotion?
No, but that's the whole drink. You mix it in, and I forgot my garnish actually.
So I'm making a jungle surprise with a lot of ice, Fizzle said. Editing Michael hates me right now. Because there's so much because there's so much background noise. Listen, if you're three-ish hours into this podcast with the understanding that both of us are slightly more tipsy / drunk than we should be when doing a public podcast like this, you have to understand it's gonna be okay. I tell you right now, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna pop the lid on this baby. Look at this. Do we garnish this? Oh yeah, all that noise in the background as
I
you're
can
driving
barely
down the
hear it.
road to work. It's just shaky, shaky, shaky. Oh yeah. I'm gonna drink it straight out of the mason jar, baby. Who needs another cup? It's gonna be okay.
We got the
I continue
nutmeg
to
that we're
talk.
just gonna just sort of lightly sprinkle right over the top there.
Delicious. This is gonna be so good. It's a fruit blast, but also a strawberry surprise and a jungle jape.
Normally,
Ugh.
the garnish is supposed to look a little bit nicer, but it's late, and I just yeeted the pineapple in that bitch.
We need more vodka in here.
Michael's trying to get fucked up. Okay.
I tell you, it's gonna be okay. It's supposed to have rum, so don't come after me. Don't come adding me in the Xpwaste chat saying, Michael, where's the rum? Because it's at the store.
Hey, XP Wasters, can you do me a favor?
Don't come at me and ask me where the rum is. It's at the store. On brand for RuneScape.
Our potatoes with cheese. I was just about to say, Tiki, why is the rum gone?
I muted myself. How long have I been muted?
Not long enough. Hell.
2 seconds? Well, thank you, Tiki. You saved me embarrassment of a lifetime. Should we start now? No context until Friday? Reclinatus? If you do that, I will delete every message.
My hero.
All right. Have you tasted it yet?
No.
All right, buddy. Cheers. Fruit blast from the gnomes themselves.
Painkiller from Tiki Mug himself.
Ugh. Ooh. That is very vodka heavy. We're going to put some more simple syrup in there.
Oh my God.
I need it to be sweeter. The idea of these drinks.
God bless a man who actually knows how to make drink.
Are you making me jealous right now? Because it's working. Trying to make me jealous? I didn't purchase the ingredients for that drink because I said it didn't sound appetizing. And Tiki says I didn't have to be jealous.
I think I
But,
put too
oh,
much
sir,
nutmeg in there.
I am. Could have trusted me. Listen, anniversary episode number 5.
But he's always got to skimp. He's
got
always
you.
got to skimp on the anniversary episodes. I don't know why. The show pays for the alcohol. I don't know why.
We should get into a question. And I love this one. If I have to say, I said I had a favorite question.
It is one of my favorites. Yes.
Yeah, I think I
I
said
don't know
I had
who
a favorite.
submitted it, but it's a good one.
Did I already say I had a question or a favorite question? Because I don't know. I think this is my favorite right now. If you two were a couple, you say if like it's not already a thing. If you two were a couple, who would be the one laying in bed waiting for the other person to get into bed, then asking for the ice water? Oxie says it's me.
100,000,000%.
And I concur. My bitch ass is getting into bed. And then Oxie is getting into bed.
I
And
can
say,
hear him saying it too. I can hear
Oxie.
him going, Oxie, can you give me a cup of water?
Can you give me some
please?"
water,
I
please?
can fucking hear him saying
Can you give me
it,
some
too.
water, please? Hey, I know you just laid down, but like, can you fill up my cup, please? 100% me.
It's 100% Michael. And he can hear me bitching about it too. He can hear me bitching in response.
I have a question. Tiki asks, what am I paying for if you can't buy rum? The simple answer, Tiki, my dear, is I didn't think that rum was such a pivotal drink. It was such a pivotal liquor in so many different drinks that we were doing tonight that I put it back because I had a 3.5-year-old in the cart.
Oh my God. Do you have a 3.5-year-old in the car who's trying to touch
Wanting
everything?
Everything in the store.
That's crazy.
And I was trying to rush out of there because this 3.5-year-old needed to nap. And solo dad can't go to the liquor store alone this week. He says, okay, what's weird is that you took the time to put the rum back. Yes, I took the... You got me there, bud. You got me there.
Like,
You
I think
got
I
me.
put too much nutmeg in this, or I haven't mixed it properly, but this is really good.
Ooh, that's a lot better. I added some more lemon. I added some more lime and some more simple syrup in this one. It is delicious. Delicioso. Cheers for the fruit blast.
Why is the rum gone?
Rune says he's mentioning the child more than he's mentioned his new glasses. That is a deep cut. And I applaud you for that one, sir. I applaud you for that one. Reclinata says, I mean, his name is Tiki Mug, so I would assume tiki drinks are his specialty, which means rum. Yeah. He says, Tiki says, all right, I'll leave it alone, but I'm disappointed. You know what? I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed. And that's all we needed to hear from Tiki today. I'll be crying myself to sleep tonight. Next question. In regards to sailing, what would be one thing you guys would add to the skill/mechanics?
Having already tried the alpha, I think I would add the ability to be able to get on and off your boat on shore whenever you wanted. You fucking crash land in Mistalin. You're just like on the boat at Port Khazard and you drive that bitch to Remington or you drive that bitch to Draenor Village. You just crash it right into the fishing spot right there. I think you should just be able to get off your boat in Draenor Village and just start doing whatever. But I also think that you should have access to your boat anywhere, like at ports. Like, oh, you left your boat in Draenor. Nope, the boat's teleported back for a free service charge. Like, have you complete a quest, and then it's like an introductory sailing quest, and the quest goes so well that this guy will send his like mermaid legion to get your boat wherever it is in the world, free of charge. So
I like it.
that's what
I think
I'm
for
changing.
me, I would love the ability to deep sea dive from your boat. And you could do like, you could take swimming mechanics and do underwater fishing. And you can go and spear fish underwater, but it's only accessible from your boat in the deep sea. To further add to your idea, they could do it right now if they just had the ability for like dinghies. So like any boat smaller than like any boat that's like raft size can dock anywhere. But once you get to the point where you have the ability to add like an extra dinghy to the boat, then you can park your boat in the middle of the water, and then you get in your dinghy, which is essentially a raft, and then you row that bitch to shore, and then you can dock your raft or dinghy anywhere. That would be cool. Because I do agree with you. Having played the alpha, it feels kind of limiting to only be able to dock at like actual ports, and like you're very much limited to exploration, navigation, all of that kind of stuff. To if I want to go to Zaya via my ship, I either need to go Land's End or I need to go to Piscarilius. That's like the two places that I can think of that have like docks. And if it's not accessible by land, or if it's not accessible by a port, like I can't go to Claw Island, or I can't just go and do some
But I'm
AFK.
sure there will be there will be like when the game comes out, I'm sure there'll be a lot more spots where we can dock. But the ability to just say "f it" and undock anywhere would be cool.
Would be neat. Here's with the next one.
What is one thing, if anything, right, that you would want to add or change about the show that you're hesitant to mention because you think the other would hate the idea? They add the caveat that don't be a bitch, take the gloves off.
Oh. Okay. This is great to do at this portion of the episode because
When Michael's too drunk and
have removed my filter.
Oh boy, this is going to be fun.
I know that you have said, it's who I am, baby cakes. I'm not changing a thing. You can't change me. You say too many goddamn times. The pauses between you saying and thinking of your next sentence is like 95% of me editing the show. Yes, I have my times where a coherent thought doesn't make it out of my mouth in a full sentence, but 95% of me editing this show is you going, you know what? I think they added Tob too early in the game. Cut all that out. Made it sound perfect. I said, you know what? I think they added Tob too early in the game. It's a coherent thought. It's a complete sentence. And the structure makes sense for an audio-only platform. I love you so much. I'm so sorry.
I know. It doesn't. Okay, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't, because as I've said, I'm not going to change my cadence. I talk to people for a living.
We're not your living, baby girl.
We're good
a
at
podcast.
it. I'm good at talking to people. I'm good at teaching, and I'm a very good public speaker. So if I occasionally throw an in there while trying to coordinate a fucking, what'd you call it, an organized thought, that's okay with me. That's fine.
It's more than
that's just how I talk, baby.
At this point, the gloves are off, right? It's more than an occasional I myself throw in what would be considered an occasional an actual occasional. So like if I'm editing a 3-hour podcast, I have maybe 1 or 2 that I'm like, yeah, that doesn't seem out of place. There are so many where I think you literally just, the train of thought leaves for a second.
Sometimes,
and then it comes
sometimes
back.
it does. Sometimes
Which is
it does.
fine.
Sometimes I get distracted. But what I will say is I've been doing what I've been doing for a long time, both as a podcaster and as a professional. I've learned that it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And sometimes it's important to take that extra step and figure out the right word with what you're saying when you're trying to teach people, because you don't want to give people the wrong impression. You don't have a ton of chances to make an impression, right? Because the minute you say, well, this is what I think, and then try to backpedal it and add a bunch of extra context to it, it devalues that opinion a little bit, and it makes it seem like either you don't know what you're talking about or you're not serious about what you're talking about. So sometimes I do take a little bit of extra time to like throw some pause in there, throw some ums in there, you know. But again, that's just how it be, baby. You know? Doesn't oh well. I don't know what to tell you, brother.
We edit them out. We move on.
You edit them.
Every other episode when I am not the sole editor, they're edited out.
All the effort.
Hit us in the comments. Let us know if you like the pauses or not.
I mean, they
'Cause for
probably
me-
people haven't heard the pauses in 20 episodes.
That's true.
If you've been so
Personally,
diligent about cutting out my pauses and
Every
my
single
ums,
one.
do me a favor, go on YouTube and watch
Every single
when I monologue in particular. Go on YouTube and watch, because all
But
the
we're
jump
not a-
cuts you see. No, all the jump cuts you'll see. That's all of the ums and pauses
Right.
that last for 1,000 years that Michael can't stand. So on YouTube, you'll see it quite a bit when the jump cuts come into play.
We are a primarily audio only platform.
Hmm.
My top priority when editing the show is to make the audio sound spectacular. Little sparkles come out of my hands when I say spectacular. Dakota says, they're natural though, and it sounds right. When I listen in the recording booth, it doesn't sound wrong. There's a difference between listening to something live and knowing that it's a live recording and understanding that there will be pauses versus when you're sitting in your car, driving down the road, doing your work, and suddenly there's like a 2 to 3 second pause and there's no audio. And suddenly you're like, did my phone just die? What happened? And then the audio starts again. It's a little jarring when you're not watching something and like maybe you're just listening on your headphones. I get jarred when I'm like, wow, that pause was really long. And I'm like, it's still playing. Like I'm looking over at me doing RuneScape, like when I'm playing RuneScape and I'm editing, I'm like, wait, oh, that pause was really long. So you said if the edited version doesn't have sparkles coming out of your hands, I will be upset. That I can't be sure what happens in the final edit. I'm not responsible for that.
My knee-jerk
Sober
response
Michael
was going
is.
to be, Michael doesn't know how to do that, but that's actually such a bitch to add. Trying to do any sort of effect in some of these platforms without prior knowledge is annoying as shit.
I can figure it out.
Is. I mean, you'll figure it out. It's just not going to be like an easy, like, oh, sparkles attached to the ends of my hands for these 2 frames. Like there's not going to be like a tool that does that for you. It's going to be like a bunch of manual shit that you have to add and keyframe and color grade. It's going to be annoying as fuck.
All right, buddy. Hit me with your addition or change to the show that you hesitate to mention because you think the other would hate it. Take the gloves off and hit me with it because I did not hold back.
I don't entirely know if I have one. I think there was that right there is an example of a long pause that just got cut because I had the audacity to have a thought there for a moment. I think for me, what I would have changed, I guess, or what I would maybe change is if the community question is like 90 responses, like when the community question is like, we have 1,000 years of content because everybody has answered the question, I would pick like 5 responses and keep it going. Because I feel like of the sections that we do, community question has the potential to be the absolute longest. Like, I feel like we've gotten into a flow with Achievement of the Week where like everything is very streamlined. And depending on the week, nobody does anything. I think like post leagues, we had like 11 total achievements the week after leagues because people were just like, fuck this, I'm not playing RuneScape. And it can be very, very, very short. Community question can sometimes be very long. And I think there have been times where I'm like, damn, I wish we only read 5 of these responses and not, all 32 of them across both platforms. But like, I think at this point I've stopped noticing. So it doesn't really bother me a ton. There's nothing really that I think I would like change or add necessarily. I mean, anything that I feel like I would want to change or add are things that like we could do right now. Like we could make more commercials. I gotta level with you. We don't really have time. I don't really have time. I'll tell you, I don't know what kind of time Michael has, but I ain't got no time. I don't have no time and I don't have no ideas. There's no ideas that come to mind of funny commercials because that's really what motivated me to make the first like dozen or so was ideas. That's why Halloween there were so many commercials coming out before bingos because we had a shitload of ideas that I wanted to do. As far there's another as far as I'm trying to think things we would add. I think we've done a pretty good job of adding things to the show that needed to be added and cutting things that don't. Like if you guys remember way back in the day, we used to have like a recommendations bit at the end of the episodes.
For like
the first like 2 or 3 episodes. It was like, what do we recommend? And then we just like stopped doing that. You know? Why did I just hear an OBS notification? Did somebody just follow me on Twitch while I'm doing this? What the hell? Anyways. It's the strangest thing. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything I would necessarily change.
Okay,
Like
Drunk
change,
Michael.
add, remove.
Drunk Michael, low key, wants to get rid of the fun question, but I don't think we can.
Oh yeah?
Because like at this point, it feels forced
Hmm.
to the point where you say, Michael, my friend, do you have a fun question for us? And I get panicked and I look at the fun question section and there's like, none. And then I'm like, oh,
Fuck you guys. You keep following me on Twitch. I keep hearing
What
because
is-
I keep hearing the GP notification now. Fuck you guys.
so maybe Tiki's right. Tiki says, but why would they send a postcard? I think the fun question potentially could just be something that is only done when it's relevant. Like when we have a really good fun question or we have a postcard to read. Not something that is so forced to say, do you have a fun question for us? Be like, and now we have a fun question versus like, hey, it's Achievement of the Week is done and that's the end of the episode. No fun question this week. Send us your postcards if you want to ask a fun question. Like versus it being something that has to be forced.
Let me hit you with the other side of that. That's a bit. You realize that, right?
I know it's a bit.
Michael,
been
my
doing it
friend, do you
for a
have
long-
a fun question for us? It is not an implication of pressure of
Oh,
if you don't
that's
have a
what you
fun
mean.
question for us, the episode is not like it. How many episodes? It's been like 80 episodes in a row that I've been saying that. Have you
I know.
thought this entire time that I am not looking at the fun questions channel? Have you thought
Yeah.
the entire time that I am not looking at the things people submit on Discord to see or
Yeah.
people ask us? Have you, brother?
Yeah.
I unlike Bingo, I do take the show seriously from time to time. I ask you that as a bit because it transitions to the next portion of the episode, so I'm not caught rambling the entire time. Especially so how it's broken up in our Discord, right? Like the categories are welcome to the server, new around here, general discussion, secret channels, which are like all of our like planning chats, mod chats, data team, all that shit. There's the OSRS category. There's the strut your stuff category, which is where we put all like the achievements and shit. And then there's the XP waste category. Whenever I see the XP waste category has anything in it, in announcements chat, patrons chat, fun questions, stream announcements, recording booth chat, or the giveaways section, which is seldom used at this point, hasn't been used since June of last year. I look at it. I see every single fun question that comes in. Prior to like 3 months ago, I got like push notifications for
Yeah.
every single message in this server. I barely had shit muted. So when I say, Michael, my friend, do you have a fun question for us this week? It's a transitional bit. I know there's a fun question. And I know when there's not a fun question. Sometimes we got to think of some off the dome. And I know when you don't have one because you get kind of panicked and you're like, I actually don't, because you're asking in the clan chat, or you're like, Oxie, you think of a fun question this week. And like, I don't give a fuck. I'll rattle off any fun question. I don't care. If you had to bring one RuneScape tool into your real life to help with yard work this spring, what would it be and why? I want you to think of the real world implications of this tool, because an infernal axe will burn your backyard down, right? What tool would you use? Like, you could just think of some stupid fun questions that people who just fucking subscribe to my Twitch channel because I just heard the pufferfish notification. You sons of bitches. Love you guys.
That's hilarious.
Oh, but yeah, no, that's not me being like, you better have a fun question for us, so this episode's gonna fail at the end.
Well, that gives me a bit of relief. Not gonna lie.
Ay, Dios mío.
Moving on, though. Are you ready to move on?
I'm
Do you
ready
have
to
any
move
final
on.
thoughts?
No.
So these last three, actually the last four, these last four have just been anonymous. Nobody gave their names. So if you ask this question,
I see
shout
names
out to
for
you.
all of these. Oh, those last four. Okay, never mind.
The last
I see what
four.
you're talking about.
This last one here that doesn't have a name, it says, is it unethical to pay your child to be your agility bot? Question mark. Let's just say for every $1, they do 15 laps of a rooftop. As the sole person who has a child and is on a microphone, no, not unethical. I would pay my child more money than $1. Well, I would say $1 for every 15 laps seems like pretty reasonable, depending on the course. Tiki says it's RWT. It's against the game rules. Captain Crash says no, it's not unethical. Or it is. Maybe he's saying it is unethical. Well, I don't know. But maybe it is unethical. I don't know. I don't think it's unethical. But is it against the rules? Probably. It's like paying for services with real life money.
Nah, spirit of
Can't
friendship.
prove it. Can't prove it. Rick Lenatus asked, didn't your wife do some levels for you? She did, but it wasn't for payment. Did it for free, bro. So it's different. Anyway.
Kids love having shit to do. Kids love little quests and little tasks, right? Kids love that shit. Kids might not understand the monetary value of $1, especially because, like, unlike when we were kids, if you could scrounge up $5, you were making bank. You were rolling deep when we used to go out as kids, especially if you got like 10, God forbid a 20. Oh my God, if your parents gave you a 20, you were eating like a king. You were getting a smoothie, you were getting a sandwich, you were getting an ice cream, you were getting little sweet treats from the store, you getting all sorts of shit back in the day. That's not the case anymore, right? $20 doesn't take you as far as a child. If you get a young kid, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever
5,
Chapel
6,
Run
7,
said.
8. My
I
best
knew
friend
that's
had a new boyfriend. Hi.
Yeah. You got a young kid like that, they love quests. Pay them in something that they think is valuable. Like if they want $1, hell yeah, they can start making money like that. If they want like Pokemon card packs, which is arguably more than $1 these days because of scalpers, Michael's about to fall asleep on us right here on the show. Give it to him. Who cares? Ethical and rules are not the same. So I think that's where you actually get around the rules with the spirit of friendship thing, right? There is a spirit of friendship clause that says like it's the classic bit on the show, the BGS for a cheeseburger, right? You can exchange real goods or services for something in RuneScape in the spirit of friendship. I swear to God, it is in their policies. I haven't checked recently, but I would not doubt that it is. There's no reason for them to change it. People play this game with their IRL friends, right? There are some things that go beyond the spirit of friendship, like particularly Infernal Cape services. But like, there's no reason I couldn't give someone I know in real life a couple dozen mil if they like fix my car, No reason I can't do that. Spirit of friendship. Michael is literally fading fast.
No, I'm not. I'm still here.
This motherfucker is like the sleepy time tea bear.
I'm listening.
In case you don't believe me, I've put a picture of it on the recording booth chat. This motherfucker is posted up, half asleep.
I'm listening.
I'm
listening. What's the next question?
The next question is from Sabaza, and it's just a series of fun questions that I, honest to God, given the fact that it's 2:30 in the morning, we're gonna save these for other episodes, so Michael doesn't feel the pressure. What was this is from Big Fig BC, Michael.
Okay.
What was your I've made it moment, both in game and with the podcast? And then they say, Jeezy on 4 years. Can't wait till you guys go to kindergarten next year. Hell yeah. Kindergarten's going to be bitching. I'm going to beat up the biggest kid and establish dominance.
Let's go. My biggest moment, and this is going to be like hella reused content, but like getting recognized at RuneFest was cool as hell. Getting recognized was like, are you Michael and Oxie? Yeah, bro. Not that we've made it, but that we've made an impact. I think that was something that I know Oxie will probably mention in his as well. And then for me, like in the podcast specifically, well, I guess that was with the podcast, but like another thing in the podcast is like having Mod Rice on was cool, with like talking to somebody from the game that we all know and love and play, like an actual employee of Jagex, having Mod Rice on the pod and like getting to talk to him at RuneFest and being more familiar and friendly with him and it was more than just like hey, I'm a fan of your work. It's like, hey, we've hung out. We're pseudo, what do you call that when it's like an online friendship?
Parasocial
Relationship. That's what it is. So in game though, I don't know, I haven't been recognized that often in game, but when I maxed, it was like I felt that moment of I've made it in RuneScape. It wasn't related to the podcast at all, but maxing for me felt like it was equivalent to the I've made it feeling, where it's like, wow, I did that. I 2277, like all of my skills are maxed. It was really cool. And then it slowly faded into like, wow, I'm maxed. What do I do now? Sorry. Really kind of sucks. But I'm glad I had the GIM to fall back on, because I feel like I could have been lost to the point of not knowing where to go if I didn't have the GIM to the point where it was. Like it probably would have started a skiller or like a baby iron at that point. But like the GIM was to a point where I could just jump in and progress without much lapse in time. So here we go.
Yeah. I think other fond memories, like, yes, getting recognized at RuneFest was lit. Like, there's no doubt about that. Like, that's a big achievement to know that we are, like, having that level of impact. I think the two that stand out in my mind, not to, like, reuse Michael's, hitting 1 million streams was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool announcement. Like, Spotify, in their own right, has done a pretty good job of, like, letting us know that we are a pretty legit business. Not to gas up a multi-billion-dollar corporation on the show or anything like that, but like we got a great partner manager with Chris, and getting the gift every year for Christmas, that's been fun.
Yeah. Top 40 in video game podcasts.
Yeah, getting the 1 million stream marker. That was pretty cool. I recently got it again. Did you get that?
I got it again.
Like
but
last week.
I think specifically that one is we hit 1 million just from Spotify streams. I think that's what that was. If I had to
maybe, I don't know,
decode the message, but
I don't know. But we got the notification
wild.
again that we hit 1 million, which like we already did back in August. That was a pretty cool achievement. Another like random cool niche achievement for us. We are cited on the wiki.
Oh yeah,
we have a wiki citation. In Riveting Tale of Lilypad Labor Dispute. If you look up OSRS Frog Quest, and then if you go to the thing, you scroll all the way to the bottom, the reference under the trivia question, it said, let's see.
Riveting Tale has the max amount of characters for a quest title.
It is. Yeah, I'm trying to read where it says that.
Oh.
It's cited at number 1. Where is that? Am I stupid? Oh yeah. The quest has the longest name of any in old school RuneScape. The quest name contains the maximum amount of characters in the quest list that currently allows. This is one of only 2 quests that take up multiple lines of the quest interface, with the other being Desert Treasure 2: The Fallen Empire. Right? So it's the longest one, and we are cited for the episode. He designed the Perilous Moons featuring Mod Rice at 3 hours, 3 minutes, and 50 seconds in the YouTube video from 28th of March, 2024. So we have a wiki citation, which
That's
is
cool.
pretty cool. We're
Yeah, forgot
we're
about that.
immortalized in the wiki now, which is cool. Like, that's a pretty neat achievement. I was joking with Jep right about that. Him, G's, and myself were sort of joking about whatever, and she made some sort of comment that like, "Oh God, this guy's cited on the wiki, blah blah blah," and I gave him a little bit of shit for it. Of like, this fucking pretentious guy out here thinking he's hot shit because he's cited on the wiki, and I kind of put my hand up. I'm like, so are we. I get it. It's pretty cool. So his is something about like a steel arrow chest in Relica from Northern UIM. But I think my like I've made it in game ties into our next question from Honor EK. What is your fondest memory while playing RuneScape? Obviously, my I made it achievement is the Infernal Cape. There's no like I'm gonna keep it short. If you guys have one and did it yourself, you get it. If you don't have one yet, get one. You think you've made an achievement by doing anything else. You beat Zuck, you get that cape for yourself, you put that bitch on your back. It is unlike anything you've ever experienced in RuneScape before. That sense of accomplishment. So for me, that's the I've made it moment, and that's my fondest memory for Honor EK. Michael, what's your fondest memory playing RuneScape?
My fondest memory is something I'll probably remember for the rest of my life, hopefully, is when I got 99 cooking in 2008 in original RuneScape 3 or RuneScape 2 at that point, probably. I know it was 2008, potentially 2009, because we had moved to Texas already. And I remember the room that I was in was my dad's office. And I can picture myself there, but like not, like I can picture myself playing RuneScape in that room. And I know it wasn't at my house in Ohio when I was a kid. I know it was in Texas, but I cooked, I believe it was Sharks to 99 with the cooking gauntlets. And I made a profit in like RuneScape. And that was the coolest thing for me, was as a teenager getting my first ever 99 in the game is something that is very, very, very fond for me. I remember in RuneScape, like old school RuneScape back in like 2014, 2015, maybe, cooking was my second first 99. So at the time, I only ever had 2 99s in all of RuneScape, and it was both accounts had untrimmed cooking. And so for that one, I'm so dumb. Like, if I could tell myself in 2014, 2013, or whatever it was, don't do cooking while you're in college taking an archaeology class because it seemed like the most interesting thing and now it's very boring. Don't just sit on your laptop and cook. Do rune crafting. Get a cool 99. Like I would go back and tell myself to do something else, but it was cooking. I remember I cooked karambwans basically to 99 and I made like, I think like 15, 20 mil profit. But both of my first 99s were very, very fond memories for me. And it's like a core memory related to this game.
Hell yeah. We got one more to go. We got technically one more to go.
The very last question. And then we have a couple audio questions to listen to if you want to do that now, or we can save those audio questions as fun questions for later.
So here's the deal. I think we save those for future episodes because I want you to just look at your reflection in the camera right now. and look at what you look like.
I'm so comfortable.
You get it. Michael
I'm
is
so-
wearing, for the audio only listeners who've hung
I'm
on
so
for this long,
comfortable.
he's wearing a fucking neck pillow and has a hoodie draped over him like a blanket, like a poor Victorian child who's freezing to death. He
I have
is
a fan turned on
fading
too.
fast. He literally said, "This is when people start the pregame.
No.
Eyes are fully shut."
I said
He's checked out.
People start the pregame at 11.
So Sabaza dies quite often. We got 3 of your audio questions and this paragraph of fun questions here. This man may have just provided us fun questions until like June, because we're going to get through every single one of them.
Let's go.
We're going to get through every single one of them, but not today.
Not today.
And Michael is hanging on for dear life.
No, I'm not. Why you got to throw me under the bus like that? I'm here.
Look up at your camera at me one more time.
I'm comfortable.
Dear life.
But I'm here. I'm talking. I
Michael-
still got half a drink to chug after this.
Taco Dog 8 asks,
Taco Dog says,
is your favorite Pokemon still Pelipper now that Heron is objectively your favorite OSRS pet? Or do you have a different favorite Pokemon? And I love
Is he
this question
talking to
for
me?
so many reasons. He is talking to you, yes.
when did I ever say Pelipper was my favorite Pokemon?
I think it was just implied because you like the Heron pet.
Oh, I don't know. My favorite Pokemon is Dragonite because dragons are cool, bro.
I love that
And-
question so much.
Do you want to answer it for me?
Well, I love it so much because it's a question that has so many fun, unique layers. Because Michael fucking hates the Heron pet, and he has also never played Pokemon,
I have.
so he doesn't even know what Pelipper is.
I do. So I'll have you know, Oxie M17, that I have a thing called a tidbit. And it is a 64 by 64? Maybe not. It's a rectangle. But it is a pixel light board that displays pixelated images via LED lights. And it is sitting in my... I'm going to send you a video after this. It is in my TV stand. And every probably like 30 seconds, it throws up that, who's that Pokemon? And it has like the silhouette of a Pokemon. And then about 3 seconds later, it tells you what Pokemon it is. And I have been studying that for the last 5 months so that one day I can give you a semblance of an answer about Pokemon if this question ever came up. And I don't remember any of it right now.
All of that training for nothing.
But listen, I did play Pokemon Platinum for over 100 hours as a teenager. And 100 hours as a teenager on a DS is a lot. But I was raised in a very sheltered and religious household, whereas in like probably early 2000, like 2003, 2002, my parents were gaslit by some online preacher that said, these Pokemon cards are the devil. They're the devil incarnate, and you got to throw them away. And so what they did was they got with their friends who were the parents of our best friends as kids, who we just so happened to trade Pokemon cards with on a weekly basis. And they all got together as adults and they said, we are going to throw away your Pokemon cards because they are the devil, and we don't want the devil in this house. And so we had to get rid of our Pokemon cards. And so that is a bit of religious trauma that has followed me ever so slightly into my teen years when Pokemon was very, very popular. And I just kind of fell off from the Pokemon train of, listen, I watched it as a kid. I had the cards as a kid, and then they were ripped from my hands and tossed away like unwanted scraps of bread. And now it means nothing to me, as it does for you it probably means a lot. But for me, not so much these days. So to say, Michael, you've never played Pokemon. No, Oxie, I haven't. But that is why. Thank you for giving me the time to speak. I appreciate you so much.
Could not. I could not.
I'll go to sleep now.
Well,
give the answer.
now that we've had our fair share of podcast questions sprinkled in with just a touch of religious trauma, I think it's time that we...
To chug my drink!
Oh my God, you're chugging like that guy from the Golden Gnomes. Jesus Christ.
It's very cold. And I have a mustache. Mason jars are not easy to chug from. Let me tell you. It's trickling into my mouth. Ugh. Okay. You can end the episode now. He's going to chug his drink now. The final button is coming undone.
Folks,
There we go.
it's been real. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a late and long night. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning, dog. And it's time for your two favorite podcast hosts to get some sleep. So call it a night. And we want to thank each and every one of you guys for being here and hanging out. Not just in the recording booth chat, but for the duration of this episode and for the duration of the show. There's not many podcasts that have been around for 4 years that have the longevity that we do, right? There's not many shows, there's not many series on YouTube that can say they have the longevity that we do, and we attribute that to you guys. You guys who are listening, who are in the Discord, in the recording booth chat, hanging out, having a good time. This is for you guys, right? Because without you, like Michael said, we don't really have a reason to do this show. Michael and I can talk to each other about RuneScape all the live long day. Without you guys supporting us, the Xpwaste doesn't exist, right? So for that, we'd like to thank you. And I'd like to wish Michael a very happy 4-year anniversary for our baby, the Xpwaste podcast. Do you have any final thoughts for the people before we go, Michael?
I do concur. I could never have imagined in this, like the early spring of 2021, that I would still be sitting here 4 years later doing the show with Oxie. It is like the magnitude and the scope that we have been able to, like the magnitude of what we've been able to do, the people that we've been able to reach, and the, I don't know, just like where the show has gone in the last 4 years is not something that I even dreamed for the show initially. And it continues to be something that you guys, as the listeners, as the viewers, as the community, it continues to be something that you guys are encouraging us to do, to keep doing. Could have given this up a while ago, pursued other hobbies, pursued other creative outlets, but the podcast is, it's like this passion project that we have is extremely fulfilling, and it's because of you, the community. So in terms of like what I'm thankful for these last 4 years, it's been you guys. It's been the community. It's like, I don't know. It's just been like the ability to bring a bunch of people who probably would never have interacted with each other ever, you know? Like there's been so many friendships in different communities and sub-communities and in all these other different groups of people that have come together because of this show. Not because of us specifically, just because of the community that we've been able to build and nurture. So, thank you. Thank you for the last 4 years. Thank you guys for so much support. And I appreciate the hell of you guys so much.
Hell yeah. With that, folks, we will return to our regularly scheduled programming next week, where we're going to talk about something. I wish I could give you a better answer of what to look forward to. We've been in talks with having some guests on the show, so potential to have some cool guests, potential to maybe do that one tip for every raid episode like we initially talked about. There's potential for good content, but no matter what, regularly scheduled programming will return next week. We love you guys, and we will see you next week for another episode and next year for the Xpwaste 5-year anniversary party. Bye, everyone.
Bye.